cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. Black and white, just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. Black and white.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simracersworld TV, and welcome to the second race meeting in Season 3 of the Porsche Club GB Sim Racing Championship. This is overly excited Chaz here. Alongside me once again is Peter MacKay in the commentary box, and as you can tell there, as I went a little bit early on the transition, you can tell how excited I am to be back in the box here. But Peter, great to be working with you again, my friend, and I mean, you got the absolute pleasure of enjoying last week's opening round of the season. If you had to round it up for somebody very briefly, how would you describe it, mate?
Well, it was in Norfolk. I could say that. It was. I know that's a joke. We've started already, haven't we, Chaz? Yes. It was fantastic. Actually, in all seriousness, it actually was really heartwarming, to be honest, because as we mentioned just before we came on air, that this was kind of where it all started for you and I commentating together, and this was one of the earliest rounds of the first season of the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship at Laguna Seca, and it's just amazing what the championship has grown to. The fact that we now have 2 classes and 2 packed classes at that is just testament to all the hard work and the fun that everyone's been having along the way. So, and that really shone through to me at Snetterton. And for example, one particular memory that sticks in my mind is Luke Holroyd and Amrik Sashdev dicing it out for the feature race win in the club class 2 weeks ago. And when Amrik first came into the club, that wouldn't really been on the cards, and he would tell you that himself. So I think that proves just how far the league has come, how far the drivers have come, and how lucky we are to be involved.
Yeah, it really is a fantastic championship. We had a wonderful time with the first and second seasons, and to be fair, this splitting of the 2 classes into separate races is really exciting. It's similar to, well, in a way, but one thing I enjoy from the Simracersworld Formula 3 series that we have on this channel is that when the drivers aren't racing in their heat, they have the stream on, so you get the other drivers that aren't racing all discussing with themselves, watching what the other drivers are doing, and you're getting a bit of that now with the pro drivers, with the club drivers racing. They're all sat in the chat and watching and having a look. Hello everybody in the chat, by the way, as well. Great to see you. We've got lone qualifying at the moment. It's Angus Archer. Now, I could not for the life of me, sorry Angus, but I could not for the life of me remember where I'd seen this name before. In another series that I commentate on, there's a gentleman called Andy Archer, and all I ever get is his initials, so I get A. Archer. And for about half of a season, I've been calling him Angus Archer when it's not actually Angus, it's Andy Archer, which is a typical Chaz. The claret and blue of Jared Coleman, that's an interesting livery, and I forgive me everybody, because tonight is going to be Chaz learns all the liveries again. I did watch some of last week's broadcast as well. Shout out to Jack Oliphant as well, by the way, for doing a wonderful job last time out. But a few new names in the series this season, Peter, and it looks to be a very, very strong grid.
Lots of new names, absolutely, and I'm sure we'll get to talk a lot about them as we go through the evening. And I tell you what, it's we must. You mentioned Angus Archer. It's a good time to bring it up. Angus is, of course, runs a company called AMS Porsche, who service and restore Porsches, but they also run Porsche racing cars. And this livery on this particular car, which Angus has actually run since the beginning of the sim racing division of the Porsche Club of Great Britain. He actually races a spec Boxster with this particular livery, and he has offered, and I am not kidding, for the safest driver across both classes gets an opportunity to have a run out on track in Angus's very own Porsche race car. Now, what a prize that is.
I'm just going to leave the commentary box and go and start driving.
well, we'll have no incident points, so maybe it's you and I, Chaz, that get to drive it.
Yes. Oh, that's a loophole if I've ever heard one. I like that. Jill Gardner out in another wonderful looking car. He's just into the pits now. This is Gregory Butterworth. Now, I saw this livery in practice. I really like this. Anyone that knows me knows that my sort of branding colours are white and really light blue. That looks mega. I quite like the green highlights as well on the wheels and the number. Jamie Ward back in the Coca-Cola machine for another season. Slams on the brakes, make sure there's definitely no ABS. This is Julien Noizet in the number 88 machine. Just making his way up towards the corkscrew. Now, talking of the circuit, Peter, the corkscrew is going to be very difficult for these guys tonight, because this car, it sort of floats around the circuit, doesn't it? It's a bit slippery and slidey, so getting it on the brakes and turned in and getting on the throttle properly here is going to be a bit of a nightmare, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit of an animal, this car. Nearly 500 horsepower. No traction control, no anti-lock braking system. And actually, of course, yesterday we've had the big quarterly iRacing update. Now, this is where you see really the biggest changes throughout the year in the way the cars behave and the way that they drive, etc. Now, one big change for this 911 Cup car is the clutch. Now, before, it had a bit of a, to be honest, a bit of a granny clutch on it. You could just absolutely burn it on the bite point, full gas, until you felt it properly engaged and then lift off again. Now, you won't be able to get away with that because iRacing have sort of closed that loophole a little bit. So if you hold the clutch on the bite, if you just drag it that little bit too much, you will fry the clutch. So we might see a few drivers maybe taking it a bit more gingerly off the start tonight.
It's always an interesting thing. I remember somebody said in Discord with me yesterday, they were like, oh, the Porsche Cup car's getting launch control. And I was like, I've been commentating on a championship that's been actively using that for a few seasons now. It's just that they've changed the behaviour of the clutch. So, like you say, people being a bit more ginger with that. We've got two South African drivers in the field, I noticed as well. We've got Heinz Meyer and Ralph Meyer. So the two of them taking part this season. They are respectively 13th and 21st on the grid. But lone qualifying has just finished, and we get our first grid of the evening then, and it's none other than Luke Holroyd on pole position. Angus Archer, not Andy Archer, alongside him. Tom Slater and Ollie Carwadine on row 2 with Danny Jones and Amrit Sachdev on row 3. We then have Andrew Soper and Paul Goffin with Andrew Shepherd and is it João Estevez? I'm never good at pronouncing that name.
João
Estevez, I like that. Paul Stout is alongside Jared Coleman on the 6th row of the grid, just ahead of Heinz Meyer and Ryan Penny. It's then Carl Hazelton and Spencer Ayres with Michael Rowe and Gilles Gardner on row 9. Julian Noizet and Mark Elvin make up your top 20, with Ralph Mayer and Andrew Marston 21st and 22nd. Behind them is David Patching and Mark Sill, with Gregory Butterworth, Jamie Ward and Peter Brill at the back of the field. He'll be hoping for a more Brill evening from there. But there is Luke Holroyd on pole, wonderful looking machine that he'll be driving this season. And the first round of the evening, which is round 3 of the Club Class Championship here at Laguna Seca, is away. You can hear them not building up the revs, actually. It's similar to what we see in the TCR cars, isn't it, Peter? It's quite an anticlimactic start, but everybody away as tidily as they can be.
Indeed, yeah, good start there from Luke Holroyd down into turn 1 at the Andretti hairpin, and we've already got a car off Mark Elvin. Doing a good job hanging on to the brake there. But most of the field getting through clean. Of course, the drivers know that if you make contact and cause an incident on lap 1, you have to follow the orange zone rule, which means you serve a drive-through penalty. And here at Laguna Seca, it's a heck of a long pit lane, so you do not want to incur that penalty. So you see the drivers just running a little bit in flying formation at the moment, but as soon as that lap counter goes to 2, watch the grenade get thrown into the middle.
Indeed, Kat will be placed amongst the pigeons. Speaking of Kat, actually, we don't have Kat Impey this evening, by the look of it.
No, we do not. No,
I think
she's
had
broken her throttle spring.
Yeah, I thought she'd put that on Facebook, and I was wondering whether she'd have that fixed in time, but unfortunately not. This is Angus Archer in second place. Tom Slater in that lovely looking number 53 machine with the Jameson branding down the side of it. He's hanging on to those guys at the front. We've got Andrew Soper off. There's cars around. The 73 goes piling in. That was João Estevez. It looks like there was an earlier incident that caused that. I think it might have been Mark Elvin going off. Oh no, that was at the very start. Apologies. I think it was Andrew Soper going down the hill. Car breaks away. And then, there's another spin. And then, just as the car rolls forward, he gets collected, doesn't he?
Yeah, unfortunate there for Andrew Soper. Now, I must give a shout out to Andrew Soper. In particularly Katie from SERV, S-E-R-V, which is a charity. As you can see on Andrew's car here, it says Urgent Blood. Now, that isn't because he's going to the scene of the crime of a big pile-up here in the Porsche Club of Great Britain. That is actually what the charity do. They bring essential equipment and materials to hospitals in the evenings and at weekends. So a big shout out to SERV from London and Surrey, and do check them out if you want to help out in any way, shape or form. But hello to Katie, who apparently is a big fan of ours, Chaz, which, we have to look after each fan we have because, their clubhouse is a phone box.
Yes, it is. We don't really have them running to our doors, even when COVID wasn't a thing. We didn't really have people pouring to our letterboxes to send us. Well, it's usually hate mail with me. Carl Hazelton.
It must be a mechanical failure. It has to be. There's no way that Carl Hazelton's made a mistake. No chance.
The car, as much as I hate to say Porsche's let him down, oh look, the car's just broken away from him there. And
it obviously got its I tell you where it hasn't had its service is Porsche Centre Chester.
Yes.
Because if it had, that wouldn't have happened.
No, definitely not. It would be absolutely tip-top. Now, who was that? I think it was Gilles Gardner. Or was it Spencer Ayres comes through and goes, oh, stuff it. See you in a bit, boys. Through he goes in the Shrek livery as well. I quite like that. Either way, great racing already from everybody. I'm trying to get my bearings here and just see who's going where, who's going to gain the places. Now, biggest mover in the field, it's actually a Brill performance by Peter at the moment. He's gained 10 spots, up to 17th. Smashing drive from him at the moment. We've got 7 places gained from Julien Noiset, who we were just looking at there. With the top 3, bit of a stalemate at the moment. Luke Holroyd still leading the way, Peter.
Indeed, yeah, this is a really, really nice measured drive here from Luke Holroyd from pole position. Now, he did qualify on pole position last time out at Snetterton, but had a little bit of a mishap a couple of laps in, and had to sort of recover through the rest of the evening. Now we're looking at Danny Jones, who's definitely going to be a championship contender here in the club class. Now he is combining 2 fantastic liveries there on that 911. It's a new livery for this season. It's maintaining the very famous Brumos stripes, the red and blue stripes of the Brumos team, and also, of course, it wouldn't be a Danny Jones car without the Haribo bear on it.
Yeah, of course. Danny and his fantastic liveries in previous seasons. It was great to watch. And again, he's bringing the happy world of Haribo to the Porsche Club GB Sim Racing Championship. This is Gilles Gardner just behind Michael Rowe. And it looks like they started on the same row. 4 places gained for each of them at the minute. That's a lovely livery on that car as well. The Valvoline livery certainly does suit it. Gilles is a lot later on the brakes. Has to get out of it slightly just to make sure he doesn't make any contact. There's a car coming out of the pits there. Oh, he's had a moment. And he's gone off. Andrew Soper's just gone off as well. Gilles just lit up the rears there, unfortunately. Cracks on with it, though. Doesn't hit anything. And to be fair, that's usually quite the achievement around here at Laguna Seca. It's hard to go all the way around this circuit. If you make a mistake, you're usually going to end up hitting something, because although it's not the longest track, it's quite a high-speed one.
It is, yeah. It's a bit of a beast, is Laguna Seca. Of course, you don't really have grass, you have sand offline. And whoop, as we see, is Andrew Shepherd giving a perfect demonstration there. And oh, Jared Coleman, this is not a shortcut, guys. Stop cheating.
Slowdowns galore going on from there. I just noticed as well, Danny Jones's helmet, is quite the interesting one. I'm not sure whether we get a view. No, we can't quite see it from this onboard view, but when he comes towards us, it looks like it's like a cartoon cat or something. It looks similar to the Tom and Jerry cat, but I don't quite think it is. But either way, there's been a numerous amount of funny helmet designs go on recently within iRacing, because you can tint the visor, but you can do it in such detail that you can pretty much draw on it. So I've seen people drawing designs on the helmet, like he's got the whiskers in the middle of its face on the visor. So quite intriguing to see that. He's got Oliver Carwadine behind him, who has ditched one pretty livery for another one in the Red Bull branding, but he was quick towards the end of last season, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Ollie Carwadine was very, very impressive towards the end of last season, definitely. And running strongly in the top 5 here, just mirroring Danny Jones as they come through. That's a tough corner in this car. Turn 6, up the Rahal straight underneath the Bubba Burger Bridge. Now, Carl Hazelton, his mechanic's obviously not putting enough fuel in there because he's going slow. What's going on?
Yeah, it must be windy. Oh, look at that. Oh, the gust of wind.
Look
you can
at
see
that
the
gust
sand.
of wind. Oh.
See the sand go up there. Honestly. Oh, to be fair, they'll avoid him. Yes, Jack Werrell in the chat. Good to see you, mate. He has corrected me. I didn't know which one was Tom and Jerry. Is that bad? I think that's pretty bad, isn't it? Really? I'm 28 years old. I should know that by now.
Yeah.
It's one of those things in life. Anyway, this battle still goes on, though. And, I mean, I've been speaking about battles recently on a lot of broadcasts that I've done, but it's not always a battle where there's all of the overtaking, or even a race where it's full of overtaking that are the exciting ones. It's a chase like this. It's the suspense, isn't it, of just one driver trying to put the pressure on to break the other driver's sort of concentration and his mental attitude to the race, and try and gain something out of it. And I'm very intrigued to see how this goes on. Unfortunately, though, Mark Searle has broken the theme. Oh, he gets it. Oh, he's lit it up and put it off the circuit. Elvin's had an issue as well. Oh, on the way into the kink. It's not often you lose it on the way in there. It's usually on the curb, isn't it? On the inside.
It's a really horribly difficult corner. There's a huge big dip, a bump. It's almost... Oh, dear. Searle nearly runs into the back of... Now, who's it? Paul Stout in the Wins liveried car. Goodness me, it's all kicking off here. Paul Stout up to 7th. Good start for Paul. And of course, those Wins colours that looked absolutely fantastic on the Project 1 Porsche last season. Oh, dearie me, we can't keep up with this, Chaz. You'll be wearing your new fancy keys out on your new office keyboard. Oh, no!
Oh, Julian absolutely drills João Estevez.
Oh, no.
Oh, he got smacked in the rear corner there. He's going to try and get it going again at least, or is he? Is he going to go back to the pits? Yeah, he's gone back. Won't be happy with that one.
Can you hear that all the way? I know both of us are quite far away from Yorkshire, but I can hear Bernie actually oiling up his whip right now for that one.
I can hear the bit rate transferring to Twitch already. Danny Jones currently staying in 4th place ahead of Oliver Carding. Now, interestingly, Danny has passed Oliver from when they started the race. So that's the only position change in the top 5. I think it started right at the beginning when that actually happened. That wasn't a very well constructed sentence. It happened right at the beginning when the race started, basically. So since then, they've been together. This is a nice little train we've got going on as well. If we go to the Blimpy Boy, you can see we've got Ralph Mayer here in the black and yellow machine, right on the back of Peter Brill in the 1-2-1. And just behind him is Carl Hazelton, obviously the fastest man on the circuit. Looks down the inside.
Oh, what a move.
Mayer a little bit there. And what looks like a Wasp has been scared off to the side. And through goes Andrew Marston. Good to see Andrew back in the Pink Pig as well. The Midas Cup winner 2020. He's got it on the rear wing. I love that. That's brilliant. Hats off.
And the novice badge is gone.
Yes, indeed.
Did he not? I used to have the novice badge, and that's come off. Now, have you read the excellent Andrew Marston edited and produced Porsche Club of Great Britain magazine?
I have not, no. I didn't realise it was him that did it.
Pop on the Discord and check it out. He's produced a digital magazine, which is absolutely fantastic.
I did not see that. To be fair, that Discord is so busy. I love the fact... Oh, Carl's had... Oh,
who's him?
Yeah. Oh, how?
What threads the eye of the needle?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, he's planted it.
Failure.
Yeah. Go on, that's fantastic. That's not even in a biased way. It just doesn't slow. It just doesn't slow down. That is a genuine brake failure. I know we're joking, like laugh and joke, but I think that was a genuine brake failure. I hope it's not a pedal-related issue. We've seen it before, but yeah, that was not the nicest of moments there for him. Now, in this fight, by the way, Danny Jones against Oliver Carwadine, Danny has opened the gap up a little bit. He did the fastest lap of the race last time, a 25.5. Carwadine did a 27.7. Look at the gap now, 2.2 seconds Danny Jones took out of him, although it was an abnormally slow time from Carwadine. Usually he's been doing 26s, so he must have made a mistake on that lap. But Danny Jones flying at the minute, mate. He's doing a cracking job now. He's turned it up and he wants to go after this man, Tom Slater.
Indeed, and just coming back to the point you mentioned earlier on, Chaz, about, it's, not quite always having to make big overtaking moves. A lot of the time it's just putting your opponent under pressure, and here at Laguna Seca that's particularly pertinent because overtaking opportunities here are very, very scarce. I mean, I always remember when the MotoGP Championship came here, even with motorcycle racing, it was very hard for them to overtake, even though it was spectacular to watch the bikes around here. So the same applies with these 911 Cup cars. You've just got to try and put the pressure on your opponent and then wait for them to make a mistake, rather than trying to manufacture a move out of nowhere. Unless you're Carl Hazelton, then you can do that because you've got the talent.
Yes, indeed. You certainly do. Interesting stalemate in the top 3 at the moment. Luke Holroyd, Angus Archer, Tom Slater, the 3 of them having a really steady race. It's a nice drive towards some championship points. We've got Ralph Mayer still right behind Andrew Marston at the moment. I do like that livery, you know. It's not the most dynamic or sort of complicated livery in the world, but it certainly suits the car. As he chases down, Andrew looks down the inside of the pig. I don't know what cut he's gone for, but either way, he's got in front. Nice stuff from Ralph Mayer. As Andrew, a little bit later on the brakes, sort of looks back down the inside a bit, thinks, maybe I could have a go here. But Peter Brill is the next car ahead now with the Net Mentor livery. That suits the car as well, to be fair, doesn't it? That's a really good looking bit of kit.
Indeed, yeah, absolutely. It's very, very nice indeed. And Net Mentor holding off the Bumblebee here. Oh, Joe Estevez. Oh! Dear me, hang on to that one very well. Did Joe Estevez.
Apparently,
Goodness
Carl...
me, it's been a race of attrition, Chaz. And I tell you what, when we've got quite a difference in pace here between the front and the back. I think the reverse grid race that we're going to have coming up shortly is going to be, well, like it has been in the first 2 seasons of the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship. It's been the reverse grid races which is made the champion.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be an absolute belter. I'm looking forward to it. My first one of the season as well. Now, this is the look back from Tom Slater. And Danny Jones is not letting off. Oh, no, this is the view back from Ralph Mayer, and that's not where you want the car to be. Looks like he's gone straight on at turn 1.
He's had a Mayer.
He has had a Mayer, yeah. Well, it works with your accent. I can't do it. But it has been a Mayer, as you'd say, for Mayer.
Very good.
Thank you, mate. I've watched too much Frankie Boyle. Oh no, his brother. Is it his brother? His dad? His uncle? And the other Mayer has had one as well. Waiting for them to come back on. To be fair, it's it's nice and tidy that we see. I mean, I'm going to say this now. I've seen more drivers being patient to come back on the circuit through practice and this race than I have in a lot of other entire championships that I've commentated on. To be fair, so. Hats off to these guys. And this is one thing we always talk about, isn't it, over the course of a season in this championship, is the respect and the community behind these drivers. Everyone gets on so well, and there's such a fantastic vibe, even in the digital paddock. The whole Discord is just alive, and it's great. It really is great.
It is. And it is unique. As we know, Chaz, the certain leagues out there in the sim racing world where the vitriol can be the salinity is high, put it that way.
Yeah.
It's tough, and because at the end of the day, if you look at, for example, if you were in a racing paddock and you were upset with somebody, you would have to have the guts to go up to them and say what you thought about what had just happened. And a lot of people maybe have a breath and go, no, actually it's not worth it. But on a computer, when you're behind a screen, it's a bit like the social media thing, isn't it? It's very easy to be horrible, but there is none of that. In fact, there's the exact opposite actually in this league, and it's so nice to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, since day one, when there's incidents, maybe a rejoin here or there that isn't on, or just a bit of clumsy driving here and there, people aren't jumping down the driver's throat and being horrible about it. They're being constructive, and they're saying, look, next time, mate, just try do this instead, maybe think about this, take a look at this detail, check your relative. It's just great, everybody helps everyone in this championship, and they do have, I can't remember the full name of it, but every round, basically, the admins do a stream and record a video where they go over the incidents of the week and who they think was at fault, why they think they're at fault, everything else. They go through every aspect of it, and that alone is constructive. As Butterworth's had a bit of a nightmare. Someone's put some butter down at the apex. The front needs buttering up, you could say. It's certainly got an angry front end on it. But to be fair, I mean, I said before it was a race of attrition. We've still got everybody running, technically. Oh, Jared Coleman's gone off. I can't keep up. My mouse is on fire at the moment. Honestly. I'm going to wear this mouse mat out, to be fair. Oh!
His mouse is on fire.
I've realised Slater has caught up to the back of Archer, or he had until he had a little off there, but he's got away from Danny Jones again as well. So these guys have got a real accordion effect going on here, and we've only got 2.5 minutes left. Where's that gone?
I know. And I tell you what, we're going to have a battle, Jameson versus Haribo. There's a Friday night for you.
Yes, indeed. Well, if you thought gummy bears couldn't talk before, you've obviously not had enough Jameson. Oh no, the pork loin has gone off as well.
Oh.
Gone to get seasoned. Off in the sand. Rejoining gradually, slowly. You've got to be careful doing that. Gets going again. It's easy to spin up the rears in this car on a good day. So when you're off in the gravel as well, and even when you've got dirty tyres, when you do get back on the track, it's easy to do that again. Here's Andrew Shepherd, a car we've not looked at yet. Interesting livery indeed on that machine.
Do you know what that reminds me of? Is those, you know, those polos that they made about 25
the Harlequin.
years ago? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the green
It
one.
looked like the In-Betweeners car. So it's got all different panels on it.
Oh God, it will, won't it? No, I like that. It reminds me of, I think Paul Smith, not the commentator Paul Smith, but the brand Paul Smith did a line of polo shirts. Funnily enough, you said the word polo, and I thought you were going for the same thing, but they did a line of polo shirts that were like this. They were striped in all different colours, and they looked very odd indeed. But
That sounds like something Paul Smith, the commentator, would wear.
oh well, you never know. Now this is intriguing. Luke Holroyd has led this whole race comfortably, and now he's on to the final lap, and he's got Andrew Marston in front of him, and he's not happy because Andrew is not making this easy for him to lap him. And Angus Archer is right on his exhaust, or he was, but Angus has lost a lot of pace there. And now you've got to think, if we go on the rear view of Angus Archer, you've got Tom Slater in there as well. So we've got what? 1.1 seconds, 1.2 seconds covering the top three here, Peter, and half a minute to go.
We do, yep. So just a half a lap to go for Luke Holroyd, and managed that well. Didn't rush it. If he had rushed it, that could have ended up in tears, and the whole result is down at the toilet. But fair play to Andy Marston there. Just kept the car, just kept driving his line, let them go around. That's the way to do it. No sudden movements, as they say. We're all right dealing with an alligator. Lap traffic. Just no sudden movements. It's fine. Oh no! Talking. Oh my goodness. Oh Chaz. I can't handle it.
Well, this is Luke Holroyd into the final corner, then just ahead of Angus Archer. He would have wanted a bit of a pain-free ending compared to that one, but Luke Holroyd takes the win in round 3 of the championship in the club class, followed by Angus Archer, Tom Slater, Danny Jones fourth ahead of Oliver Carwadine. Amrik Sashdev is 11 seconds back, but still a solid performance again. Paul Stout has actually just done his best lap of the race as well on the penultimate lap. We have had a few little incidents here, though. We're just going to have a quick look back at those while the rest of the drivers finish. This is João Estevez. Oh, it just breaks away on the downshift. It's a painful moment to have, isn't it?
It's a very 9/11 thing, isn't it? That you just feel it pivoting around, and you go, no, come back. No, do as I say.
Oh,
no, dear.
Oh, Peter.
No, no.
Oh. Well, these drivers are certainly testing each other's abilities. As Kyle is doing some promo shots in the gravel. Obviously, he meant to park it there.
They'll look good.
Oh,
yeah, that's for the next Porsche Centre Chester mailer.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Which I hope we're involved in. Here's David Patching, and he is patching the gap between Peter Brill and Ralph Mayer at the moment. Just tiptoeing their way around, and that's what you have to do in this car, isn't it? A lot of the time over corners that really go suddenly downhill, and as you go over crests and hit bumps, you really have to tiptoe this thing around. There's a big send down the inside. There's contact. Oh, and he's tipped him sideways. Mayer goes straight on, and this is the respect. Look at that. Patching just says, no, I'm not having the place for that. I'll tell you what, the 777 got close there, but he lets him straight back through. Really, really Brill respect there from David Patching. Good stuff to see that. Really like that. But wow, what a
sent up the side there, just went paching.
Well, what a fantastic first race we've had though, Peter, and a worthy winner there, Luke Holroyd. That was a mega job.
It really was, yeah. And he had a couple of hair-raising moments there in that last lap. Goodness, with lap traffic to worry about, but handled it really well. And if there's a time where a flash of the headlights is justified, that was one.
Certainly was indeed. Now, there are your results from race 1. Top 18 only, because we've got to get on with a grid here. Although, actually, no apologies, it's the warm-up session, so it's fine. We'll go through the results then. Luke Holroyd takes the win from Angus Archer and Tom Slater, with Danny Jones just outside a podium position. Look at that, though, with the top 3 covered by less than a second. Oliver Carwadine 5th, Amrik Sashdev in 6th, ahead of Paul Stout and Andrew Shepherd, with Ryan Penny and Jared Coleman rounding out your top 10. We then have Michael Rowe and Spencer Ayres, with Heinz Mayer and Julien Noizet 13th and 14th. Behind them was Gilles Gardner. 16th was Paul Goffin, with Jamie Ward 17th and Andrew Super in 18th place. Peter Brill was 19th ahead of David Patching, with Ralph Mayer and Mark Elvin. Then you have Andrew Marston and Carl Hazelton, with João Estevez and Gregory Butterworth joining him 2 laps down. Mark Searle was 6 laps down by the end. But we get warm-up underway, and we do have drivers back out on track. And to be fair, Peter, for some of the more inexperienced drivers further down the grid, it's a good time for them to just get their eye in a bit more with the current conditions, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And track time is everything in sim racing. You want to get as much mileage under your belt as you possibly can. And also, I'd imagine, because the drivers are having fun too. It's such a joy. I mean, this I don't think we can quite stress enough to those watching who maybe haven't tried sim racing or used a sim rig before. You would be blown away by how realistic it is. Even on a fairly simple setup, before you even get into all the best of gear you can buy from Midas Simulations. Not as good as a Porsche GT3 you could buy from Porsche Centre Chester. I believe the ones that they deliver to Porsche Centre Chester actually have another 20 horsepower. Truthfully. But yes, you would not believe the realism, and because it's real, because it feels surreal, it's therefore such a whole lot of fun, especially around a circuit like Laguna Seca. So yeah, I imagine the drivers are out just having a bit of a laugh.
Well, that's it. I mean, I have a sim racing rig currently where you mount the wheel and pedals and everything, but I mean, I used to just clamp it to the desk and just slide the pedals under the desk, and even just sat there in, you know, your normal sort of desk chair. It was still so immersive back then, and that's what it's all about, really. You get so immersed in it, and it's difficult to try and explain to somebody how something like iRacing is different to just playing a realistic game like Forza, for example. But there are just so many little factors that you only get it if you get it. You know what I mean? It's very hard to convince people.
It's just the feel. I think the brake pedal feels like a brake pedal, and it reacts as such. So does the steering, stuff like that. I think I think your inputs, you feel like your inputs, you're not putting an input into a wheel and then it turns up on screen a second later. It does feel much more in real time, if that makes sense. Yeah, definitely. That was Butterworth. Oh my! Having a bit of a moment. Oh, he's had some blue sky thinking there by just letting it roll down the hill.
Yeah, he has indeed. He'll be getting back on circuit though straight away. And this is the thing, you know, no disrespect to Gregory in saying this, but you know, we have drivers that make the odd mistake in this series when they start out, but then come the end of the season, you know, the improvement that we see from a lot of drivers, it really is heartwarming, isn't it, to watch it happen over the course of like 10 rounds, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, indeed. I mean, what we didn't actually see him on camera that much over race 1, and that was Amrik Sashdev, and the reason why he wasn't on camera because he wasn't crashing.
Yes.
And that's a very good thing. He had a solid top 10, I think. Forgive me if I'm wrong,
yeah,
but
he did,
yeah. Running a really solid race. Now, we always used to joke that Amrik's financial advice company, 360 Financial Management, we thought he'd named that after his driving performances. But no, I mean, that it's come from that to where he is now, and yeah, nearest damn it won the race at Snetterton. Just got pipped at the last moment by Luke Holroyd, and you've just seen him win from pole. So yeah, up to your point, Chaz, exactly right. You know, it's and it only is that way because of the environment surrounding it. Yeah, that's it. You know, everybody is so helpful. There is such a learning experience. We had to run away. Carl Hazelton then. Obviously, he's just sandbagging at the moment in warm up. That's why he's third. But no, in fairness, I was going to say.
apparently Amrique's actually named the company that because that's his golf handicap. But
Brilliant. 36.0.
Yeah.
That's good.
But no, we've got a fantastic field, and we've got drivers that were in it from the very get-go, and then we've got drivers that have just come into it this season. And having that balance really is interesting, and it keeps us on our feet, and at least on the edge of our seats as well. So here is your grid, everybody. These guys do grid up a lot quicker second time round, so do forgive me, but we are just going to fly through this one, and you can have a quick ganders at it yourself. But we've got Mark Searle starting on pole position, and you could say he's got a bit of a target on his back here, but it's all over the car, in fairness. Don't forget, after this race as well, everybody, we will be taking a short break just while we get into the other session for the Pro class, and we'll be cracking on with their races as well. But round 4 of the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship Club class series thing from Laguna Seca is away. Oh, Mark Sill doesn't see the lights go out by the look of it. And look at that from Hazelton. There you go. I told you he was sandbagging. Oh, no.
Gets the whole shot.
What was Mark Elvin?
Hailed him with the whole shot.
Mark Elvin was Butterworth's around. Butterworth's off. He's at the back. He's come back on. There's a bit of contact. Is that our race 1 winner at the top of the hill? No, it's Michael Rowe. No other argy-bargy, though. Everybody seemingly behaving themselves. It's a little bit packed up in the middle here. You can see them all just tiptoeing round these opening few corners. But João Estevez has got into the lead now. He's overtaken Carl Hazelton for that. But that was a fantastic launch off the line, wasn't it, for Carl? And as Paul Holroyd has said in the chat, this is all about keeping out of trouble this second race early on.
We're definitely whole shot Hazelton, and you can order the merch online from Porsche Centre Chester.
Oh, no. Hold the brakes, Paul.
Oh, Carbadine as well. Oh, it's chaos. Luke Holroyd just gets through. Oh, my word.
There was a lot going on. Oh, Jared Coleman's gone off. Oh. It's moments like that there that we saw, and it just highlights the importance of holding the brakes. I think he just went around on his own and then got hit, but then it's just the not holding of the brakes and rolling back onto the racing line. That's where the issue lies there, unfortunately. It's a simple enough mistake to spin the car. Oh, no! That was a massive hit there. That was patching, and he caught Andrew Soper. We've also got Ralph Mayer off the circuit. Oh, no one wants to finish a lap. Oh, it's kicked off again here, just behind as well. There's another car off. Jamie Ward's in the wall. Oh, wow, it's really kicked off there, mate. But lively stuff. We have, I think, 13 cars at the moment.
Pit lane's like a boneyard full of smashed up cars. Goodness me. Well, let's see what happened with with Andrew Soper and David Patching. Oh, poor Andrew. No, absolutely nowhere to go there. It's just a mistake there from Patching, and across he went. And Ralph May. Oh, that's violent.
Oh, Jamie Ward just missed his braking point and hit the back of Ralph Mayer, unfortunately.
Really desperate to share a coke with Ralph Mayer.
Was indeed. Mark Searle's gone off out of the right hander. There's a bit of damage. Well, there's a lot of damage to the front left of that car. We know how easy that is to do. Now, Mark Elvin was somebody that had a very lively start. He went off the gravel on the right-hand side, had a huge slide and managed to keep it on. He's overtaken Carl Hazelton at the moment because Carl's such a gentleman, he's let him through. But no, in all fairness, good start from Mark. The Michelin man on the side of the car. Now we've got Mark Searle off again. I think he's just trying to bring the car home. Amrik Sashdev, though, in the midfield. Apologies for all the sporadic changing, everyone. There's just so much going on. This is a hell of a train. You've got Amrik Sashdev, Danny Jones, Spencer Ayres, Julian Noise, Luke Holroyd and Angus Archer. Amrik is your second highest mover in the field so far. 14 places gained.
This is absolutely superb from Amrik Sashdev, and just got to concentrate on clicking out these top 10s. Exactly what he's doing. It's really, really superb. And tell you what, if you can finish in the top 10 in both races every time, you will not be a million miles off the whole overall championship, because there's a little tap there from Julian Noise. Dear me. Spencer Ayres in front. Well, Shrek, he'll be going, donkey, don't do that.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do, donkey. What a film. Luke Holroyd, though, he's going to be pleased at the moment. He's got 15 places gained, same as Danny Jones, a few cars ahead. So these guys making great progress. So too, Andrew Shepherd He's gained 14 spots as well, so he's having an absolute belter. And these are the important races, aren't they? I mean, coming back to Ryan Parkins, who we'll see in the pro races, last season, that's how Ryan won the championship pretty much, isn't it? Just stayed out of trouble in the second races, got good points out of them, while other people tried to maybe rush through it a little bit and just got caught up in silly incidents.
That's exactly it. That's how Ryan Parkins has maintained his crown as the King Hippo for the last rounds. Now, looking over who's that coming over the hill? It's Jared Coleman. Eventually. Now, Andrew, look, here we go. Andrew Marston in the pink pig up to 4th with Gilles Gardner in hot pursuit. And, brilliant battle here. And, oh no, Mike was off and Ollie Carbadine's disastrous race 2 carries on. Carbadine going for a little bit of brakes. Oh dear. Oh, now.
Michael moved over a little bit.
Yeah, Ollie Carbadine has gone. He's got the Red Bull sponsorship on the go. Now, if he actually went to a proper caffeine supplier like Sacred Coffee, for example, reaction to avoid that, you know,
would have heightened his concentration, of course, while giving great taste. Speaking of great taste, Danny Jones.
What a move.
Squeezes down the inside of Amrik Sashdev. Beautiful stuff. And to be fair, it was really strong racing from Amrik as well. You know, he squeezed him to the left, but didn't run him out of room completely. He left enough of a car's width for Danny to make that move stick. And that was really, really hard charging there. Julien Noizet and Spencer Ayres are side by side. They've got Luke Holroyd just in front. Spencer just gets on the brakes a little bit early, just to make sure they're not side by side into the corkscrew. It's not a place where you want to be side by side at all. Fastest lap of the race, by the way, Tom Slater last time round, a 1:26.5. So he's flying as he tries to get back through the pack. Oh no, Noizet, as we look away, he goes off.
Oh, it's been an eventful day for Julien Noizet so far in the 88 car. Well, in certain countries that would bring you a lot of luck, but not today for Julien.
Oh, just catches the gravel. And he's done a great job there to keep that out of the wall. That's a very easy place to plough it into the barrier, isn't it?
Only thing is, after that lockup, his tyres will be like the Michelin commemorative 50p piece.
So specific.
Or as an F1 crew chief would call, the tyres are flat spotted. Pit box. Good job, mate.
Good job, mate.
I swear they all come out of factory one by one.
Oh, they do. They really do. Although, to be fair, I must say, was it Mark Smedley? Felipe Massa's old engineer? He was a superstar, he was. He was a real
what was
star.
it? Easy, Felipe, easy.
Yeah, easy, mate. I was actually...
Fernando is faster than you.
Yeah.
That, I tell you, I felt for both of them that day. I mean, being told with a sort of, Ferrari branded gun stuck in your back, telling you, tell them to move over.
Yeah, I know. It's painful, isn't it?
Mm.
Either way, we've got Tom Slater on the back of Andrew Soper right now. He did another fastest lap last time round, but he's not finding it easy here to get past Andrew. Let's see what he can do here. Nothing doing at the moment, though. Good stuff from Andrew to stay in front. Oh, it looks like he's got the run there, though, Tom. Now they're going to be side by side into the kink. This is never a nice place to do this. Careful stuff from the pair of them. Great awareness there by Andrew Soper. Gets out of it, and Tom Slater is through, but not without losing a bit of time there. So Andrew's done his job. Gilles Gardner, he's still holding on to 4th, ahead of Andrew Shepherd and Andrew Marston. So it's the Andrew squadron chasing him down. Danny Jones is right behind Marston as well. So honestly, these battles just keep popping up everywhere. Oh no, we've got cars off. Paul Stout and Heinz Mayer. Oh, that's in. I hope they had no crockery in the boot. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Andrew Marston, he has gone from, pound stretcher, cheap bacon to fine Iberico acorn-fed ham. Same animal, different performance.
I didn't know ham could perform.
Oh, you've never had acorn-fed Iberico ham. It is Bellota. It is absolutely, it is just nirvana.
I'm literally going to set a reminder on my phone for that.
It's like
now.
legal drugs.
This is Danny Jones with his regular gummy bears down the inside of Gilles Gardner. Nice stuff, to be fair, as well. Gilles aware of that. Pete Brill just went a little bit wide. Now Spencer Ayres is going to try and come through. Side by side, they go across the line. We're nearly halfway through this race already. Oh, Spencer moves across the front there. Pete looks down the inside. He wasn't pleased with it. Locks up on the way in. Wow. Oh no, Mark Elvin's off from third. Or second. He was second, wasn't he? He's had a moment here. Oh, long slide. Is it going to go the other way?
I'll tell you what, he did well to be under that much pressure. I mean, you've got Carl Hazelton all in your mirrors. Nobody can handle that pressure for that long. It's inevitable, really.
Got Edward May in the chat as well. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you indeed. But look at this, your race leader at the moment, João Estevez. He's doing a wonderful, wonderful job, isn't he, Peter? I mean, he's got 8.7 seconds back to Carl Hazelton. What a performance this has been so far. Indeed,
yeah. He's channeling his fellow countryman, João Barbosa. He's driving like João Barbosa right now. Of course, a multiple IMSA champion and Daytona 24-hour winner. And, wow, it's just got to just keep the head down, clicking out those laps. It's a difficult place to be, actually. It's a lonely drive. You're looking at the delta saying, okay, that's good. And you're just trying to keep the concentration, keep hitting your marks, and carry on. Probably the next 10 minutes are going to feel like one of those Gran Turismo endurance races that you had to complete, which took like 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. I do miss those, actually. I remember, actually, you know what? It was here as well. Tom Slater's just had a moment, by the way. A little bit of a spin at turn one. Straight back on it, but, of course, he's now behind Andrew Soper again, so he needs to do all that work once more. Here's Luke Holroyd. Oh, Mark Elvin's had another issue. Oh, Pete Brill was just going off as well in the background there. Oh, keep it pointing the right way, buddy. Wow. Now, looking at the moves in the field, by the way, Andrew Shepherd has gained 17 spots. Danny Jones has gained 20. Amrik Sashdev has gained 17. Luke Holroyd has also gained 20. Angus Archer's gained 16. Oliver Carwadine's gained 11. We've got some fantastic drives through the field here. Awesome to see it once again. But yes, you mentioned the endurance races. I used to play a lot of Forza Motorsport, and I remember trying to get a load of money to do up a BMW that I quite liked. And by doing an endurance race in it here at Laguna Seca, it was a 3-hour race. And I wasn't that much quicker than the AI. It wasn't one of the standard things where you just drive away from them and you beat them by like 5 laps by the end. It was genuinely, I had to push that thing because it was quite a good balance of performance, you could say. But just coming towards... Oh, I'm trying to think what corner it'd be now. If you count the first hairpin as turn 1, you'd say turn 4, the left-hander before you go to the kink, up towards the corkscrew.
Turn 5.
My wireless controller disconnected, and because it was classed as like an online race, it did not pause. So the car went straight on into the barrier with about 20 minutes to go. And I was... far from pleased, I think is the word. This is Mark Elvin and Andrew Marston having a good little ding-dong here. As Mark Elvin gets through down the inside. Andrew Marston did have another look back at him just to see if he could try and open up any sort of advantage, but nothing done yet. Now Carl Hazelton is holding on to second place. Andrew Shepherd is holding on to third, but the gap to the front...
Oh, look at Angus Archer going for a move on Shrek.
He is indeed.
Oh, side by side. Now, who's going to play chicken? Well, it's not going to be Shrek. Shrek doesn't back down for anybody, but oh well, he did on that occasion. Angus Archer must be that scary.
I've just realised at the front of the car it says "Move Ogre," but it's reversed, so it reads correctly in the mirror.
I like how the mirrors are green like Shrek's ears.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
They just need candles hanging out of them now, and we're all good. Mark Elvin did get close to the back of Spencer Ayres there, but unfortunately, he played it safe on the exit of the corkscrew, which I would definitely advise. As we've had another issue further back. The Rallycross Club.
Oh God.
That's who's involved in that one. You've got Jamie Ward, Heinz Mayer, Mark Searle has gone off. Mark Searle was our pole sitter. Oh, down the inside goes the 164 Paul Goffin. Gives him a bit of a tap as well to say thank you. unfortunate incident there. But you see that a lot in that corner, don't you? It does often sort of close up into there because everybody wants to just make the apex. Because if you don't, it's like a NASCAR turn. You've got to hang it around the outside.
Yeah, it does lure you in. It's a little bit cambered as well, as we see Danny Jones having a look at the inside. And Amrik Sashdev, this is going to be very, very close. And Amrik just gives him good room. Danny's going to go up the inside now. Who is going to blink first into turn 6? It's not Amrik. Shuts the door hard. Oh,
brilliant stuff. I was going to say, I'm sure Danny Jones. I'm sure Danny had already overtaken him into there once. So Amrik says, "Not on your life, sunshine." Back in front. Luke Holroyd is now in this as well. He's got a front row seat of this. Fantastic stuff. But this is the racing that we love in this championship. You do get these absolutely corking battles. But either way, that looks sideways there from Danny Jones. And Gus Hay in the chat, good to see you, mate. He's just said that, I think the message on the back is, it's all ogre now on the rear of the car. And I thought it said ogre now, but I couldn't figure out what the rest of it is. But that makes sense. I like that. And it's, again, we've had a few banterous liveries in this championship. I think in the pro class, will we not have the Jaeger Bull as well as Danny Jones? Bit late on the brakes, but look at this trio, Peter. This is what we want to see. You've got to love it.
Absolutely, it is. It's really superb and good on Amrik Sashdev, giving it as good as he gets there. And I tell you what, I thought that Danny had that move done, but I don't think he was banking on Amrik going absolutely maximum attack and throwing caution to the wind, throwing it all in and making the corner beautifully. And Danny just wasn't expecting it, and the corner speeds were massive. And here we go. Now Danny's got him coming out of turn 5 up towards turn 6. Now is Luke Holroyd. He's quite far back to get this move done. Yep, Amrik says nope, not in your life again. Tell you what, Amrik's quick through there through turn 6, but Luke's going to have a go around the outside going up to the corkscrew. Nope, decides to back out of it. That's a man thinking about championship, I think, Chaz.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a good thing to do at this point because, I mean, I know a lot of drivers that say, you know, go for it from the very off in the championship and get out there as quickly as you can and then worry about the championship towards the end. But in fairness, you know, if you keep your level head early on and bag some good results, you're not on the back foot then going to the end. You're not playing catch-up. So it is good stuff from Luke Holroyd so far. This is Oliver Cowdean having a go at Andrew Marston. Still can't get past him there either. Andrew holding on in 12th place, started 5th on the grid. A little bit wide into there, has a wiggle, and through goes Cowdean. Now what is Stout going to do? Oh, Stout's going to go down the inside of both of them into the final corner. Hits the curb a bit, though. Not the ideal line. But either way, that was awesome, awesome stuff from Oliver Cowdean. Through he goes. Nice opportunism. We have 3 minutes of this race left to go, and this is very much still going on here. Danny Jones is nearly a second to the good on these boys now, but Holroyd cannot get past Sashdev.
No, this is deja vu of 2 weeks ago at Snetterton. The only difference was it was for the race win, but it's now a battle over 5th position. Luke Holroyd got a good run up there into turn 6, but Amrik is just quicker through that particular corner. Just dives in there. And, over the crest they go into the corkscrew. And Amrik very clever, just placing his car exactly where it needs to be, and there's nowhere for Holroyd to go.
Yeah, indeed. He's trying very hard to get it right, but you and I both know it's easier said than done.
We do know, though, that, Chaz, that Luke is carrying ballast. He does have a man bun, so that is going to slow him down.
That's true. I imagine it's very irritating to try and cram that into a helmet as well, in all fairness, so is what it is. Oh, no! This is Oliver Cowdean. Oh, that's not the ideal place to be, Ollie, unfortunately. Needs to get that off the circuit as soon as possible. This is how he's done it. Does the back go over the crest? Oh, he just clips the gravel. It straight lines. Doesn't hit anything, but unfortunately, that's...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. And Red Bull and Jägermeister come together.
That was a Jaeger bomb, literally. Everybody.
That was a Jaeger bomb.
You couldn't make this up, could you? Honestly.
They're just serving us up for them tonight, aren't
they? They really are. Oh, God. Right, Oliver's in the pits now. And we've got this battle going on. Oh, Julien Noizet is going slowly on the right-hand side. What on earth? Not sure what's going on here for Julien, but let's go on board. Doesn't seem like any issue now. That's a very strange one. I've not seen that before. But now look at this. Amrik Sashdev still holding on ahead of Luke Holroyd. He's got one more lap to do this. Luke's going to try and get around the outside. It's up and over the corner.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. The tiniest of touches and Amrik's off in the wall. Oh, we had to say it. What a nightmare that is.
Oh,
Let's have a look. I'm just waiting for it to change over. Sorry, it's not letting me do it. Let's have a look from on board with Luke. So does Amrik just run wide out the corner? Luke's on the curb. I think Amrik just either ran wide on corner exit or just didn't expect there to be.
Looked like he was doing his normal racing line. To be fair.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We get the lucky job of being commentators where we're never wrong, Chaz. So let's let the stewards be wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that. This is Carl Hazelton at the moment giving Andrew Shepherd a chance. But a great battle either way between the pair of these guys. They've been gradually closing on one another. But look at that. That's the thing. When you go down the inside there and the driver ahead of you is just that much more confident, they're just going to fly away. But 10 seconds to the good. João Esteves, what a great performance this has been. I love that livery, by the way. It's a really different livery to see. And it just works on that car. Just a white livery with a bit of art on it just always works on a car for me. But round 4 of the club class in the Porsche Club Great Britain Sim Racing Championship Season 3 goes to João Esteves. What a drive. Well done, that man. 9.5 seconds it's looking like. Ahead of Carl Hazelton. Brilliant drive from him as well. Andrew Shepherd not quite able to beat him over the line. Danny Jones 4th after gaining 20 places. Luke Holroyd gains 22. Angus Archer gains 20. Gilles Gardner is going to finish just ahead of Amrik Sashdev, but either way, Amrik gained 14 places in that one. That is still a very sturdy drive. We have... Oh, no. Oh, we've got stuff kicking off all over the shop. This is Soper and Brill who've both gone off. We had Julien Noizet go off as well. Oh, he's actually come back out of the pits. But there was a car off at the corkscrew as well. Andrew Marston's just had a moment. Oh, nobody wants to finish. Here's Noizet, and is he going to get overtaken by Slater? He needs to wait till the final corner, if you ask me. Oh, he does stick his nose down the inside, though. Mark Elvin and Michael Rowe are off at the final corner as well. Oh, freebies for Marston. Thank you very much. Oh, there he is, going back on. Oh, Noiset's gone back in the pits again. Oh, is that going to be a freebie for Ralph Mayer? Just missing out. Oh, there's even contact across the line. Oh, oh, flipping out. Wow. Well, that was certainly certainly a lively one, wasn't it, Peter? That was a hell of a lot of fun, but what a great drive by João Esteves that was. Really deserved race win there.
Absolutely dominant there from João Esteves, you could say. Well, I wonder if he's from Porto, because that was a vintage performance.
Yes, that is, if anybody watches Peter and I commentate on the Simracersworld TCR series, you'll know where you've heard that before. But that was a really mega performance by him, to be fair. Now, we should just have time, I think, to go over the results of that second race very, very quickly. João Esteves takes the win from Carl Hazelton and Andrew Shepherd. Danny Jones is 4th with Luke Holroyd 5th. Great evening for him. Angus Archer 6th with Gilles Gardner 7th. Amrik Sashdev 8th ahead of Spencer Ayres and Paul Stout. We then have Jared Coleman and Andrew Marston with Michael Rowe and Ralph Mayer right together on the line with Tom Slater just behind. Then we have Heinz Mayer just behind those guys with Jamie Ward and Pete Brill. We also have Andrew Soper and Mark Elvin and Julien Noizet 2 minutes down. The cars a lap down or more were Oliver Carbadine, David Patching, Paul Goffin, Mark Sill, Ryan Penny and Gregory Butterworth. Thank you very much, guys, for the comments in chat. What Peter and I are just going to do, everybody, is we're going to take a quick 5, maybe 10 minute break just while we get into the other session. If you do bear with us, we will be back with you very, very soon.
It's black and white. Black and white, Just let me go, it's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. Just let me go, it's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. It's black and white. Black and white. It's black and white. It's black and white.
Hello again, everybody. That wonderful sound there is the sound of our pro drivers now practicing for their 2 races this evening. Still at Laguna Seca, of course, for rounds 3 and 4 of the championship. Chaz Draycott and Peter MacKay here in the box. VCO Commentator of the Year nominees, Chaz Draycott and Peter MacKay, I'll have you know. But what a wonderful evening we've had so far, Peter. I mean, those club class races were fantastic. I really enjoyed that.
That was absolutely superb, and some great storylines. I mean, João Esteves, I mean, that was just absolutely metronomic consistency, a dominant drive, and thoroughly deserved. And well, with that drive, you've got to think that he's a real contender for the club class championship. And I mean, there's probably 5, 6, 7 drivers who I think are going to be fighting for that championship all season long, and that's going to be where the big entertainment is in the club class. And we saw some amazing overtaking maneuvers, some calamities here and there, but yeah, fantastic stuff. But now we ratchet up the pressure. This is where it gets very serious. This is where it gets, you look at the lap times and you go, really? How?
Yeah.
So this is going to be fun.
It really is. It is going to be a hell of a laugh, this one. These guys are going to do us proud, I imagine, but some good names from last season as well. And, Byron Crawford, that's a blinding drift. Johnny Elliott is back out there, and another wonderful, wonderful livery. The 11/10 car, looking very, very tasty indeed. Now, he did actually send me a link about this, you know.
Aha. There was me thinking I was getting exclusive tidbits, but apparently not.
Well, it's the homage to the IROC series, isn't it? With the 1970s liveries these guys are running. And they look absolutely... I mean, the artwork that they've sent us for these, not just the liveries themselves, the artwork and the effort put into presenting them has been absolutely stunning, hasn't it?
Much better than the Australian V8 supercar team announcements, Chaz, which of course you're such a fan of their work.
Oh my God, don't.
You should send them a catalogue, send them a proposal to say, I'll sort it for you, pal.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean, end of livery competition. There's a Momo car. There's a Momo car. Stephen Harper, just shut the book.
Indeed. Ryan Parkins is saying he's had to sit the rest of the season out due to work, which is a shame, and getting married. Congratulations, Ryan. Honestly, congratulations, mate. But that means that we're not going to have a 3-time King Hippo, unfortunately.
That means we're looking for a new King Hippo.
Now,
but actually not though, Chaz, because to be the real King Hippo, you have to take out the previous King Hippo. That's how it works. That's how it works in the jungle.
It is indeed. That's very true. Now,
this is up there. Look at this car.
Oh, I know. It's got better and better looking every season, this Dan Bathy's car, unlike him, I've heard. But, yeah, the spec map on it, the gold, yes. Just yes. I love the look of this car. And the Sacred Coffee, obviously, you know. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely wonderful
Ordered my new pods yesterday. They arrived in a couple of days. Come on.
You know, I can't remember who it was in the Discord, but literally... I think somebody was talking about Dan's car in the Discord, and then he just said something like, "Oh, it's sponsored by Sacred Coffee," and then someone said, "Oh, I've watched the broadcast back. You've just cost me 34 quid or whatever he spent." Just put a link up to like a screenshot of the PayPal payment going through, and he'd bought loads of Sacred Coffee. It was fun. I think it might have been Simon Povey, and if it isn't, then I'm really sorry, Simon. But for some reason, your head sticks in my name. No, your name sticks in my head for that one. But we have some good returnees from last season, Peter, that I'm really, really pleased to see. But a new name at the top as well, Jacob Tofts. Up there, which I'm very intrigued to see. Now, I'm excited to see how he gets on, but of course, he's in one of the Porsche Sport esports liveries, isn't he?
Yeah, which are very, very tasty indeed. In fact, I've actually got Luke Holroyd, the boss of Porsche Sport. I've got Luke Holroyd teed up to make me a special when the new Porsche GT3R comes out, if it comes out, is to get a special Brumos tribute livery for me,
nice.
with my name on the side and stuff, with a 59 on it and everything, and
I like that.
And a list of all my new best pals who I've already forgotten my name, like Harley Haywood, York Bergmeister, Kevin Estra.
Oh, there's Austin in the unlucky.
Oh, I've dropped the name again. Oh, damn it! No, sorry.
Name dropping for days.
Oh,
now. I've noticed this.
Haha.
I love the Brawn livery. Not sure it works on this car, but it's still nice and sleek. But it's the name that intrigues me. Now, I'm a real stickler for saying names properly on broadcast. I'd never want to say people's names wrong. I do not wish to offend anybody. But I'm thinking, is it Jaruta?
Saruta.
Oh, it's just Saruta.
And
Okay.
Christian Saruta, there's a story. So he, of course, won the feature race in the pro class. First time out. First time in the league. Won the feature race last time out at Snetterton in a proper Braun GP-esque David versus Goliath story. Really amazing. And it turns out he's got a... Now, forgive me, it's either a Radical or a Caterham. I think it's a Caterham, and he has his Caterham painted in Braun GP colours and races it. Now,
That's
how cool
is
that?
That is, yeah, that fair play. You know, that is, and this is one of the interesting things about this championship that we get every season. You know, a lot of these drivers, they have real life racing experience as well. You've got a great mix here of people that are in Porsche Club GB. They don't have the experience of real racing, but they can go up against drivers that do race in the real world in their sims at home. And that's one of the beauties of sim racing. And to be fair, I mean, since the whole lockdown situation started, which was pretty much a year ago next week, which is scary. It feels longer, though, in a way. It's the sort of main thing that it's offered up to people, isn't it, really? The fact that you get all these pro drivers, people that do it for real, racing against you in the sim, and it's a beautiful balance, isn't it?
It is indeed, it is indeed. And we've got this car here, this Chris Byram's car, which is the Chris Akabusi tracksuit car, which looks, don't pretend you don't know who Chris Akabusi is.
I'm not going to pretend that I don't. Funnily enough, actually, it's Chris Byram races in another series that I commentate on, and he races in a very, very, very bright livery, just like that one, and I absolutely love it. Now, this is going to be lone qualifying now, so we're going to have drivers going out and setting their qualifying laps. I've chosen Colin Wynne to go on board with. Colin had a fantastic performance at the end of last season at Suzuka, and to be fair, he deserves the airtime for this because he has honestly been one of the real stars, especially last season. You know, he came on so strong, didn't he, with learning it, and to be fair, one of the standouts for us of drivers that have improved over a season.
Indeed, yeah. Colin is actually, from my recollection, is relatively new to sim racing as well. Sort of one of the lockdown sim racers, if you like, and really taken to it very, very well. Now, I do have one question about the livery on the car. Both you can see it on the bonnet and on the side of the car. Why has he got a kid's My First Farmyard toy set on his car?
I'm not sure.
Is that what that looks like? That looks like one of those kiddies toy sets. Like, oh, there's the farm, there's the tractor, there's the...
Yes, it does. We'll even get a slow-mo on this.
For goodness.
Oh, it's Moving Matters. Moving Matters.
Ah.
There you go.
I see.
I'm intrigued by the colour choice, but I suppose it's sort of like terrain and then the grey is like a road.
Maybe. Very shiny. There are lots of spec maps on it.
It's very shiny, yeah. Very shiny indeed. But either way, Colin Wynn's going to go on a lap. We'll go on board and have a proper full-on ride here with one of the pro drivers then. Across the line we go, over the crest. It's an interesting one because it's not a smooth curve all the way around. Pick your braking point on the right, nice and early in this car, just so you don't lock up. Double apex first corner. Let it run wide after the first one. Hit the second one. Over to the left for turn 2. There's a big sausage curve on the inside. You want to be careful about that. Careful on the power as well. The circuit does rise a little bit there. To the right again. Another sausage curve on the inside. It's important to carry speed through there. You'll see a lot of overtakes made into there, but both cars will lose pace. Now, left-hander here, plenty of camber to help you out on the corner itself, but on the brakes, not so easy. Careful as it flattens out that you don't spin up the rears. Now towards the kink, another very difficult corner. It's blind until you get there, so until you've turned in, you do not see the curve on the inside. Don't clip the gravel on the right. Make sure you set yourself up for a nice straight run up to the corkscrew. Another blind corner. Over to the right. Clip the curb just to make sure you're as far over as you can be. Apex 1, Apex 2. Love that. Really nice, tidy stuff. Back down the hill. There's a sudden compression there where a load of grip gets to you just before the apex. Get the car over to the left. And again, another compression mid-corner here. Feels like the car's absolutely on fire as it goes around the right. And hard on the brakes into the final corner here. Very tight hairpin. It looks like a 90-degree corner when you get to it, but it's just more than that. Light it up on the exit and a nice lap there by Colin Wynne. Let's see where that puts him on the grid. Currently 6th place as things stand, but it's Simon Povey who's top ahead of Saruta. I've done it again. Gary Tall just behind him. Good to see Gary back as well. He was a real flyer, wasn't he, last time round?
That he was, yeah, absolutely. And Gary's, I tell you what, Gary has got one of the most enviable car back catalogues you could possibly dream of.
Yeah.
Like, think of all the cars you lusted after when you were a kid. Gary's either still owns them or has owned them.
Nice.
You know, like Evos, Causes, all kinds of different Porsches, GT3s. You're just like, just jealous, so jealous. Now, this car looks great apart from the number on it.
Oh, when will it end?
Surprised he's not turfing it. He's not found somebody to hit on this lap.
This is not Kershaw. This is Stephen Kershaw, who's getting going again. I know that there
are an accident. Call Kershaw and Kershaw.
Now, I know that some of the names on here, everybody do have the odd issue. I am sorting them out as we speak. There has been an update to the overlay software that we use, so some of the names that we had in there before have sort of doubled up the surnames. So if I click on them again, there you go. Fixed, all sorted. Now the times are coming in. Caravan Carl up to 3rd place. Baxter Jones displaces him. Great stuff from Mark Baxter Jones. That looked great in that colour. Really, really does. And that, again, nice spec map work on that car. You can see the glossy sides on it as well. There's like a metallic sort of fade in the middle as well. But it's got this matte finish to it. And it just looks really, really tasty. Now, who else haven't we looked at yet? Paul Rieger is back with his characteristic blue on the car. Of course, in the Porsche Sport machine. It is a very nice livery. Nice and busy as well, so it certainly looks the part. Got Stuart Clark back. He won at Alton Park as well last season, didn't he? He had a brilliant drive to hold on to the win there. And Dan Bathy, wasn't he on a charge when he chased him down?
That he was, yeah. Stuart Clark held on really well. Now, we did used to have Stuart in a livery where he had his name in massive letters on the wings, so it was easy to spot him. But to be honest, this car is quite easy to spot as well. So it's okay. And the young lady's face there on the bonnet, that's well, if you miss your braking point and you're about to run into somebody in front, that's the face that is likely to be pulled. Now I don't know if it's showing up on your screen, Chaz.
Yes.
But Mark Burney is back to the Dempsey Proton polygons.
Yes, he is indeed. It's even shinier than it used to be. But yeah, the whereby has gone bye-bye from the livery, which is intriguing. So no more of those puns. Now I recognise that livery, and I know the designer who did that. Not personally, but I know who did it, and he did the Zancho SimSport liveries, and he is an absolute hero. He's an absolute legend called Bryce. He's on Twitter at max_ERU, and honestly, his liveries, I mean, as you can see by this, they are absolute works of art. They are wonderful.
That is a very nice looking livery. Don't scratch it! With the Kyalami logos on the side of it. Oh, now there's a classic for you. Nice, super shiny. Well, the red is maybe a little bit more red than the kind of light orange that a Gulf needs to be, but nevertheless, very nice.
Yeah, James Cummings has always had nice liveries in this championship, to be fair. Some of them very striking, some of them a bit garish, but either way, it's worked each time. And this is another real corker. We've got Matt Dorrington out there as well, back in his number 166 machine, one of the championship contenders last season. Intrigued to see what he can do. We've also got a new name to me as well, and another Brawn GP livery, Matt Camilio, out on circuit as well. Oh, a little pop and bang there as well.
Who's Jensen and who's Rubens Barrichello?
I think that's a question for them. I think if we get a chance to interview either of them, we should ask. I like that. Right then.
17 thousandths of a second, the difference for Jacob Toffs and Simon Povey. That's amazing. And Mark Baxter Jones in 3rd.
Yeah, that's really good stuff from him, to be fair. Just watching the timing now to see if there's anybody on faster laps, but it seems like everybody's just cracking on. There's nothing really lighting the timing screens on fire. Luke Holroyd back on the Porsche Sport account in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Well done this evening. Great driving. Really good driving, to be fair. Proud of you.
Look, if you're listening, go back up and see what Gavin Halls was saying about the ballast in your car.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. It was actually, I forgot to mention it earlier, he's Gavin Halls, former driver in the series. He says, man bun changes the roll centre of the car. Good in the wet, but not great in the dry.
Oh, trust me, I know. I used to have one. It's not good. If you want to run in a straight line, the front end lift is just horrible. Around corners, it's great. You get that extra balance, but yeah. He says he's come back to a massive man bun comments. Yes, indeed, sunshine. Right then.
Just cut it off.
Wow. Camilio then. He's trying to get this car as high up the order as he can because he's probably seen the previous race and thought, right, track position is very important around a circuit like this. Out the final corner he goes. And across the line. Where does that put him? 17th at the moment. Just 26 thousandths of a second off Mark Bowe. But he's actually, wow, what's that? Half a second faster than Byron Crawford. So there's a big difference between them there from 17th down to 18th place. The gap for the whole field is oh, Matt Dorrington's just gone fastest, so he's just made that gap even bigger. The whole gap is only 3 seconds, to be fair, Peter. That's not a big gap at all, really, is it?
Not at all, no. What a clutch lap there from Matt Dorrington at the last point. Now, if this is now, can we go back to James Cummings, please, Chaz, if you wouldn't mind? Now, well, the qualifying time is going to go over, but I wonder, was maybe James Cummings just doing a practice start there?
Yeah, there was the
Possibly.
sound of a few during the practice there, just as we came back live. So I'm intrigued to see what we get. But
because if that was a bit of brake dragging, you would have to put up with this associated slagging.
You would indeed. You would indeed. We have said that. Matt Dorrington then, and Jacob Tofts on the front row. Simon Povey and Mark Baxter-Jones on row 2. We then have Peter O'Connor and Austin Greatorex, Dan Bathy and Carl Sharkey, Stephen Harpham and Ben Simpson. Paul Rieger and Gary Taller on row 6, with Christian Zeruta and Johnny Elia on the 7th row. James Cummings then lines up alongside Mark Bowe with Matt Camilio and Byron Crawford on row 9. Following them is Chris Byram and Mark Johnson, with Stuart Clark and Chris Bowie on the 11th row. Colin Wynn then lines up alongside Bernie himself, Mark Phillips, with Stephen Kershaw and Cole, apparently it's Paul Cole, at the back of the grid. What on earth? There's a crater in Laguna Seca by the look of it. But either way, we have 2 phenomenal races coming right up for you now then, everybody. We've had 2 belters already. Let's get ready for 2 more then. This is going to be round 3 of the Pro Class in the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship from Laguna Seca. And we have a wonderfully pretty grid here. Looks absolutely phenomenal. But it's going to be Matt Dorrington that's going to lead them away then. Jacob Tofts in second. The revs rise, as indeed do mine. And we're away. Plenty of wheel spin, plenty of clutch slip, and oh, Baxter Jones has gone completely. Well, he's backwards Jones at the moment. But look at that for the lead. Dorrington side by side with Tofts. Tofts going to try and just shove it around the outside. It's not going to work though. Dorrington holds onto it. Tidy stuff around turn 1. That was very, very uniform stuff. Lovely.
It was either a cone or a wheel came off there going into turn, so I wonder who that was. I think it was maybe a cone. So see Byron Crawford going a little bit wide there in the lines to go machine. But yeah, very, very neat and tidy from all the Pro Class guys so far. Of course, they'll all be well aware of the orange zone rules, so expect them to be pretty much line astern for the opening lap, letting everything settle down. And Mark Johnson straight in the wall.
He's bombed it into the wall. Is he just going to lock up? Oh, he's locked it up. Oh, to be fair,
did well.
Hats off to him there for getting that out of the way. You know, he may have put it in the wall, but I think everybody would rather him do that than hit someone else. That was great. Now, 2 drivers I haven't seen race yet. Simon Povey, I've heard a lot of good stuff about him in the Discord. He's in 3rd place in car 3, so for my OCD's sake, I hope he stays there. But I know with Jacob Toft's number on that window, Peter is not going to want that to stay as it is, in all fairness. But that's a lovely looking car as well. Greatorex has got a real train behind him as well, hasn't he, Peter? Dan Bathy, Peter O'Connor, Ben Simpson, Carl Sharkey. Look at them all. There's a massive train.
It's nice to see that Austin Greatorex has ditched the livery where it looked like someone had blown their nose on his car, and he's got a proper livery from Porsche Sport, which is nice to see. He's got Dan Bathy on his case right now. course, another of our real up-and-coming drivers. And Gary Tollin there, right in the thick of the battle. God, there's no hiding place, is there, Chad?
There is not. Absolutely not.
Riga
As
goes
well as
wide.
a car wide. That's Paul Riga. Johnny Elia going down the inside. Doesn't make anything of it. And just in front as well, Zaruta's right on the back, or he was right on the back of Mark Baxter-Jones going through that right-hander there. So this is very, very tough stuff. And this is the thing, you know, we got close racing in the last one because there was the odd few incidents more, but here it is such a stalemate. It's unbelievable the racing these guys have to do. As down the inside goes Mark Bowe. Johnny Healy is on the grass. Well, there's no grass there, let's face it. On the sand. Through goes Stuart Clark. But wow. Really, really tidy stuff in these opening laps, to be fair, Peter. This is fantastic racing.
Yeah, absolutely superb from these guys, as we see Colin Wynn up there.
Oh,
No, Stephen. Oh dear. Stephen Harper. Oh, Paul Riga's off as well. So have they come together, or have they spun on their own? Let's get a look then.
Oh, Baxter-Jones and Simpson have just gone off as well.
Okay. Oh, Riga gives him a good old shove. Dearie me. Well, to you, off they both went.
This is what happened between Simpson and Baxter-Jones. Oh, down the inside, a little bit late on the brakes, and just drills him into the hairpin. You can see him getting back on there, but Matt Dorrington leads the race from Jacob Tofts and Simon Povey. The three of them have then got 3.6 seconds over Greatorex, so that 3-horse race at the front certainly making the breakaway.
You can see there on the side of it. Oh no! Dearie me. Chris Byram having a bit of a loose one there. Colin Wynn up to 15th. Now, just a couple of places behind Colin Wynn, we have Chris Boy and Chris Byram. So Chris Boy, he's now, if you recognise the colours on that, you might recognise the colours of those of the number 277 Urban Outlaw car owned by Magnus Walker, but this is the inverse of that. It's Rural In-Law is what this car is called, which I thought was excellent.
I like that. I like that a lot. And again, it just highlights the fantastic banter and spirit behind all the guys in this championship. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on in front there. That was Stephen Kershaw and Mark Phillips. A bit of damage to the front of Stephen's car. Mark, I think, got a slowdown. Although, he's not actually slowed down that much, to be fair. Very intriguing. Closest cars on track right now, though, other than these guys, as it all bunches up, is actually top three. Look at them here. Dorrington, he needs something to happen from these guys behind here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But I tell you what, Simon Povey, well, he has got the POVE where he is. This is exactly where you want to be, actually, I think, for Simon Povey. Just watch what Tofts and Dorrington are going to do. He can get a really close eye here on where they're quick, where they're maybe a little bit less quick than him, and this is exactly where he needs to be. 15 minutes to go, plenty of time, and of course, while they all clear, they're kind of clearing off and leaving Austin Greatorex further and further behind, and they can leave the battling till later on in the race, when I'm sure they will. Yeah,
that's the thing. You need track position, and to have those gaps as well just gives you a lot of confidence, doesn't it? Because Simon Povey now, he knows he's got 4.3 seconds over Greatorex, so he's not going to feel as much guilt or pressure if he just has a little stab here at Jacob Tofts and just tries to make a move, or even just looks down the inside. You know, if he has to sort of break it up a little bit, then so be it, because they've got the gap behind, as Luke has actually absolutely roasted me in the YouTube chat. Cheers, mate. He's absolutely had my pants down there. Stuart Clark has gained 10 spots in this race so far, so he's definitely not going back to the drawing board at the moment. Johnny Elia looking down the inside. And can I just say as well, as someone that's done iRacing video editing for a long time, Johnny Elia's videos, no, we're much better than Mark Phillips' line through the final corner. Colin Wynn's gone in there as well. And I hope he hasn't moved over on the brakes, otherwise we'll be shouting moving matters at him all week. We'll have to have a look what's happened here.
Looks as though Bernie's on the... Oh, God. Oh.
No. Out of all people to hit, Colin.
Oh, you don't hit Bernie. That is... Oh. Colin Wynn, well, maybe we should arrange for a security detail to maybe just wait outside his house just in case, because I think Bernie might arrange for a horse's head to be left in his bed tonight, unfortunately, after that one.
Well, I was going to say, it's not really a battle in the steward's room that you're going to win, is it? to be fair. But
yeah.
I'm not saying that Mark's biased, by the way, because he's one of the admins. But yeah, you don't want to feel the wrath of series organizer. Now, Dorrington has started to open this gap up a little bit here to Jacob Tofts. It's not a massive gap, but Povey is definitely closer to Tofts than Tofts is to Dorrington. And I feel that this may be what Simon needs, because if he sees that gap opening up, he's going to go, right, I want to have a stab at this race lead now. Let me through. So, yeah.
Dorrington half a second quicker than on that last lap around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was as well, flipping heck. So, lively pace then from the lot of them. And that's what's so intriguing about it, isn't it? It can get so close on the pace. Now, I've been asked, by the way, by Luke Holroyd. Apologies, everybody. I will say this out loud. Luke hates me for the fact that I put a certain link in the YouTube chat a while ago. He says he still hates me for it now, but he wants me to put it in there for Ryan Parkins. So, without spoiling the fun, there you go, Ryan. You can have a look at that yourself in your own time. It's fantastic, really is. Either way, though, Peter, we've got a few little duos and trios starting to develop here throughout the pack. Not as much difference in pace, obviously, throughout the field in these first races, but when you get to the feature race later on with the reverse grid and everything's a bit backwards, you've got the guys that were quicker in the first race catching the guys that finished lower down. So it's going to be a very different kettle of fish for the second one, isn't it?
It will be, and of course with the field this tightly contested, it will be a tough job for our championship leaders, and our race 1 leaders to make their way through. That's going to be the key. We keep saying it, but it's absolutely true. It's worth labouring as Johnny Elia in the 688 car here in 12th place, putting the pressure on Stuart Clark. Now, Johnny Elia has picked a great IROC colour scheme here. This is actually Richard Petty's colour scheme from IROC, which of course the original IROC was Roger Penske ran those cars, and they were the original Porsche RSRs, because there was no other car that could put up to the beating of an all-star race with identical machinery.
Indeed. Now, I don't know if I've seen this right. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, my timing screen's doing strange things to me, to be fair. There is this train, but for anybody that's ever used SDK, you'll know that whenever you're looking at a car, the times are calculated from that car. So I saw this train and I thought, why is there not 5 of them? But yeah, the car ahead is nearly a second. Oh, there's a lock up there. Is that Ben Simpson or Chris Byram? I think it might have been Chris. Just had a big lock up there. But look at this though. Ben has got some real pressure behind him now. Stephen Harpham, Paul Rieger and Mark Baxter. Jones Mark obviously further up the order than this before. Oh, Kershaw's had it off. Oh, we switch to footage here from the Paris-Dakar. Oh, nearly comes across. Wow. Either way, manages to avoid it. Oh, Mark Phillips has had an issue again. What's gone on here, Bernie? Is he just slowing down to let cars by? Yeah, he is, I think. Yeah, he hasn't jumped back to the pits, so he's all good. Scared me for a minute. Indeed. Now, 166 versus 166. This has hotted up a lot because Jacob Tofts has started to very much close on Matt Dorrington. Last time round, he was only, 2/10 quicker than him. It was Jacob's fastest lap of the race. Dorrington's best is a 24.1. He was 4/10 off that. Obviously, as the tyres start to go off over the course of the race, he won't be doing similar times, but look at the confidence these guys have over the corkscrew. They just let the car float through there, don't they? A little shift down from Jacob as well. They really are pushing it. Oh, no. Byron Crawford's off. What has caused this?
We've been blindsided.
I saw that in the YouTube chat from last week. Oh, good avoidance there from whoever that was directly behind him. Again, he's done well not to hit anything or anyone else, so he continues.
Now, we have solved the blinds to go mystery, though, Chaz, that they are actually the largest online retailer of blinds in the UK.
Ah, okay. So we finally know exactly what the business is.
Indeed.
We did have a bit of conspiracy about it last season, everybody. Not conspiracy, but we were curious.
And Austin Greatorex is one of his customers. Now, this is a shocking thing. This shows you that, you know, Austin might make terrible decisions on the gearbox in his car by choosing a PDK over a manual, but he knows how to choose a blind, does Austin.
Oh, he does, yeah. He does. Oh. Well, we've got to go back to this, I'm afraid, everybody. Simon Povey has the best view in the house at the moment. Oh, no, Chris Byram's had an off. He's lost 2 places. I just saw him very quickly drop down the timing screen. It looks like he's just had a spin through the right-hander. But this is a very intriguing battle, this. Now, obviously, we had a good top 3 in the last race, but they're a lot more spread out than this. We've got, what, 6.5 minutes to go. Sorry, 7.5. Great maths, Chaz. But these 3 have not been separated one tiny bit, have they?
No, they have not. And the thing is, they're so evenly matched that at a circuit like we have here at Laguna Seca, I actually think this is going to take a mistake for there to be any change in the order here. This is such a difficult circuit to manoeuvre, to make up an overtake manoeuvre without your opponent effectively handing it to you. It is so hard to do. The only one place where maybe you might be able to make that move is into the final corner. You can kind of stuff it up the inside, but you see Johnny Elia coming back onto circuit as he has to go exit stage. Well, exit stage straight on there to try and avoid running into the back of Stuart Clark.
A real shame that for Johnny Elia. Just trying to bring a bit more greenery to the off-track sections of Laguna Seca. Simon Povey's got the lead. Povey's got the lead. This entire battle has swapped round from about 10 seconds ago when we were looking at it. Oh my goodness me. Well, hello. Replay. So here's Dorrington. They're queuing up to have a go. Tofts goes down the inside. Oh, there's a bit of a touch. I'm not sure whether it was Dorrington not leaving the room on the inside or Tofts running wide.
Well, I don't know how many miles it is as the crow flies to Monterey, California, but you could probably just about hear Simon Povey laughing. He's like, cheers, lads. See you later.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Actually, Dorrington's got back past Tofts. A bit of a lock-up on the right there. Look at that. Great pressure. Oh, to be fair, Tofts lets him through. That's nice of him, to be fair. I think he was probably unhappy with the fact that he took the move via contact. And we've seen a lot of that. Again, you know, the respect in this series is second to none, isn't it? We do see it every single time, and I love it. You know, I even saw people complaining the other day that, drivers shouldn't let each other back through. It spoils the sort of aggressiveness of it. But I don't agree with that at all. You know, that I'd rather see drivers being
it or not.
Yeah, true. I'd rather see drivers being respectful and letting each other back through like that. You know, it just adds such a more heartwarming situation to the broadcast and the series.
Indeed, and also you've got to remember that this is for fun. This is not professional racing. I think that's important to keep that in mind. Really solid, almost a little bit under the radar run here from Carl Sharkey, the number 77 car, but another solid top 10 for Caravan Carl. Now, he sent us a message the other day with a picture of his new car that he's got on order. He's got a Porsche Taycan on order. Ooh. And the caption was brilliant. It was just this picture of the car, and it's like, she's electric. I was like, oh, it's a top banter, Carl. Very good. And,
that's shocking. Gary Toll having a bit of a slide there. What a save. How did he keep that out the wall?
He did well. He did very, very well there, Gary Toll. So,
he can hold his head high for that one. Is it just... That's a fantastic save. Absolutely fantastic save. Honestly, you do see cars going there so often on the way out, especially rear-wheel drive machinery. But again, we've got this. This is closed back up. Simon Povey is not out of the woods yet. He really isn't. But these 3 are 6.5 seconds ahead of Austin Greatorex and Dan Bathy, who, again, 2 of the fastest guys in the series. Oh, look at that in the background as well. That was Saruta. Passing Carl Sharkey side by side. Oh, fantastic stuff. Great respect between the 2 of them again. Caravan Carl's not going to let that one slide, is he? Or is
No,
he?
he's not. Oh, he gets it loose and tags him.
Carl!
Oh, Carl.
He just drilled him at the corkscrew.
Oh, no.
It was that tiny little touch of the gravel on the right-hand side. And watch, the car just goes, nope. Oh, that's such a shame for both of them. Oh.
Dear.
Oh, and
Oh dear.
For God's sake, we've missed it again. It's been a change for the lead. Dorrington,
Blame Carl Sharkey.
although it's not picked it up on our what we call our event viewer here, which shows us when people overtake one another. So I'm really sorry, but I might have to do this. Oh, he's already done it at that point. So yeah, I'm afraid I don't really know where we can go to find that happening. But
maybe the corkscrew, which would be gutsy.
Yeah,
to say the least.
I'd say so. Let's give it a look. You're right. Oh, that looks very close, didn't it? Oh, I thought we were going to have a massive accident. Matt,
Oh my word!
take a bow, son. Take a bow. Jacob Tofts has got past Simon Povey. He's just had a moment now. So every time we look at something exciting going on, we miss it. Oh, is Simon going to hit the curb? Oh, he's actually just got slightly sideways. Oh no, Simon. That's gutting that because he's
so
done
easy done there. You're it's a leap of faith every lap, that corner.
Yeah, it is.
You're going, oh, I think the apex is there. I'll just throw it in and hope for the best.
Yeah, indeed. He's done a wonderful job so far as well as Simon Povey. Real shame to see that happen. Now this is a nice little train here. We've got the two 11/10ths machines there, Johnny Elia and Mark Baxter-Jones just behind. But that directly behind us is Stephen Harpham. And look at that, Elia looking to the inside at the corkscrew. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it, this car? You've got to love it. It's an iconic noise.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Byram. He's gone off now on his way up to the corkscrew. Probably dazzled by his own livery. But someone that's dazzled us so far has been Matt Dorrington. You know, he's had everything happen to him this race pretty much. He's run away, he's then been caught up. And then he's obviously had a little bit of contact. Yes, Jacob Tofts gave him the position back, but massive respect on that part. But now he's back into the lead via a wonderful move at the corkscrew. And there you go. Johnny Elia just going down the inside of Stephen Harpham. Now, how long is it going to be before Baxter-Jones tries the same? It's a real shame for Baxter-Jones, isn't it, Peter? Because he started out so well and qualified well as well.
He did, yeah. Just bogged down a little bit off the start. It's really difficult to get this car off the line now with the little changes to the setup of it. But it's also a shame that we don't have the two teammates running together. For 11/10s, we could have called them 22/20ths. I'll get my coat.
No, I like that. I like that, to be fair. It'd be great if they were 11th and 10th, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be good.
So here's the two 11th, 10th and 10th and 11th.
Very good.
To be fair, I'm not sure if anybody in the chat would have seen it before. I was quite proud of myself in a virtual Bell Car series broadcast recently where we had the 999 911, the 911 911, the 9 911, the 11 911, and the 99 911 all fighting each other in one battle. And it was honestly, I didn't call any of the drivers by their names. It was just by car number, and it came out hilariously. Oh no, Colin Wynn! Moving matters, but he's turned it up on its head.
Oh,
Who's that?
and Chris Boy's off there at the... Oh my goodness, the rural in-law is off.
Indeed, nothing rural about where it's headed. Although he manages to get back going again. Nicely done. But maybe it was because he was too under pressure, you could say, Chris Bowie. No?
Maybe he was going the wrong way up the circuit. He was trying to rebel.
Either that, or it was a rock and roll suicide into the the corkscrew. This is Matt Dorrington then. Nothing funny about this, to be fair. This could genuinely be a move for the lead by Jacob Tofts. Is he going to send it down the inside? Looks like he's a bit later on the brakes, but Dorrington holds on. He just needs to get a good run out of the corner. He does just that. Round 3 of the championship goes to Matt Dorrington. Great drive. Jacob Tofts, brilliant as well. Simon Povey finishing in 3rd, just ahead of Austin Greatorex and Dan Bathy. Well, another great race for all those guys in the top 5. Close battles further back for the final few spaces just outside the top 10. Mark Bowe chasing down Stuart Clark. Nothing doing there, but just behind this you've got Ben Simpson still with Johnny Elia. right behind. And then Stephen Harpham, Mark Baxter-Jones in there as well. Is there going to be any change here? Doesn't look like it, does it? All nice and tidy. All they need is a good run to the line, and they get just that. This is Chris Byram and Paul Rieger. Right together. Again, looks like Chris just needs to hold on here. That is a very striking livery on that car. It's the Cuda E-Motorsports livery of his sim racing team. They have a Lamborghini as well that they race in, the GT3 machine, and my lord, with all those angles, it looks amazing. But there he is then, finishing 18th place. Wow, what a brilliant race that was, Peter, but what a brilliant win by Matt Dorrington. Strong performance by Jacob Tofts as well. That was really, really good stuff from the pair of them, and you have to hand it to him. You know, he gave the position back after that contact. When that's for the race lead, it takes a big man to do that.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah, very, very impressed by Jacob Tofts. Not the sort of sportsmanship you would normally associate with the 116, but
For God's
you know,
sake.
I
can
do
mute you.
jest.
You know
I
that.
do jest.
Yeah, basically, everybody. For anyone that doesn't know, I feel a need.
I think we have to address it. Yes.
Yes. Ashley Sutton, British touring car champion, double champion. Good friend of mine, raced with him for a while, used to be in his team in sim racing. You know, big fan of his, have been for a long time.
Impartial then.
Yeah. And obviously, you know, Peter's Scottish, so you know who he's going to support. No, in fairness, you know, Rory Butcher, top bloke, really, really sound guy, very, very quick, had a fantastic year last year. The 116 is associated with Ash Sutton, who Peter is not a massive fan of, to be fair. So there is always a little jest here and there from Peter, which, you know, keeps it friendly and keeps it alive. Anyway, away from that, Matt Dorrington.
Friendly banter.
Exactly. Matt Dorrington took a wonderful win there from Jacob Tofts and Simon Povey. Austin Greatorex finishes in 4th with Dan Bathy 5th. Peter O'Connor finishes in 6th place. Then we have Gary Tall in 7th with James Cummings 8th. Christian Saruta in 9th and Carl Sharkey rounding out your 10. Then it was Stuart Clark, Mark Bowe and Ben Simpson with Johnny Elia and Stephen Harpham in 15th. Mark Baxter-Jones was just behind. He'll be hoping for more from this reverse grid with Byron Crawford and Chris Byram 17th and 18th. Behind them was Paul Rieger and Colin Wynne with Chris Bowie, the last car on the lead lap. He then had Mark Johnson, Stephen Kershaw, Mark Phillips, Matt Camilio and Paul Cole rounding out the field behind him. But now, Peter, we have a warm-up session for these guys to go and enjoy out there, but just looking back at that first race, was other than potentially the guys that were right near the front, was there any real standouts for you in that one?
Well, I have to say it was just absolutely superb, that battle at the front. Great respect, and who says you can't overtake at Laguna? Oh, I think it was me, silly me, because Matt Dorrington made me sound very silly there, because I don't think I've seen. I don't think I can remember such a clean and such a bold move at the same time as what Matt Dorrington pulled off there. The fact that it's a long way around the outside there, and the fact that he did it without even so much as a lightest of touches, absolutely superb. I think we'll look back on that as at the very least a contender for move of the season.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, it does take so much commitment to do that. And the thing is, you've got to have so much faith in the car and a lot of control, and just there's so many aspects to getting that move right. Not only the fact that this car is hard to drive, the corkscrew is one of the most infamous corners in the world because of how difficult it is. I just really, really don't have a clue how he's managed that. If you just bear with us 2 minutes, everybody, Peter and I are just going to take a very, very quick break while the rest of this warm-up carries on, and we will be right back with you. We'll see you in a sec. Right then, everybody. We do not have long to go now before this session will come to a close. The cars will disappear very, very quickly. And then we will get the final race of the night underway. And I must say, Peter, I mean, this is your second evening with this format. A little bit of a tweak to last time in the timings, but this is a great format, isn't it? We keep ourselves very busy up here, or at least they keep us very busy up here, but we still get plenty of fantastic racing, and everybody gets a bit of the best, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. And what I love about it is the guys in the club class, and of course they're trying to get a slot for the pro class next season. So when they finish their races in the club class, they can hop over and watch the stream, and I think that's a very cool part of it. I think. Yeah,
definitely, really is, and it's it's helping out drivers that want to progress, and having progression like that in the league is really good. That's great for retention, and in honesty, I think that's one of the issues that you do come across as a league organizer in sim racing. It's if you've signed up for a series in real life, and you take the time to get your race license, you pay a lot of money to turn up, manage your car, and so on. With sim racing, you don't have to do as much as that. So, to be fair, you can get away with it, and drivers don't turn up. Now, speaking of not turning up, Paul Cole has not taken to the front of the grid, so it's on Matt Camilio to lead them away, as the Brawns did in 2009. But Mark Phillips says, "See you in a bit, sunshine." Wow, what a great start that was for Mark. James Cummings has had a bit of a nightmare further down the order. He's dropped a number of positions. Look at all this in the middle, though, Peter. Oh, Povey's had an issue. It's 4 wide in the middle there. Carl Sharkey down the inside. Oh, how did they all sort that out? There's a bit of a touch. I think Matt Dorrington got a hit off.
Look at Dan Bad.
Oh, no. There is contact. The car's around, and that is Jacob Tofts. Tofts is Ofts. No, we're not going to do that one ever again. Mark Phillips, then, has a wonderful start, and he manages to hold on to it for a few corners anyway, but Matt Camilio right behind him there. He's going to try and blend into the scenery, and I'm not going to use the pun about his name. Hello. Baxter Jones down the inside of Harpham. And I think, to be fair, Byron Crawford will hope he was blind so he didn't have to look in his rearview mirror. That's very scary stuff. We've got 2x2 further back as well. Povey around the outside there of Peter O'Connor. Paul Cole is asking how he's on pole position. He's in the YouTube chat. What are you doing, Paul?
That's a proper James Hunt and Murray Walker. It's like, who's on pole, Murray? You.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter O'Connor's in spin at the corkscrew. Oh,
that's
what's going on there? And Mark Bowes. Oh, Mark Bowes got off into the sand.
I think he's had a bit of a hit.
Is that? Oh dear.
Oh, Camilio's gone flying away at the front here, actually.
Oh, camera, Camilio.
Yeah. Wow, when has he done that? Just trying to find it. Apologies, everybody. I know that I'm doing really badly at this tonight, but what a mega start he's had now. He's absolutely flying his mat. Here we go. Here is the move. Oh, Mark just ran wide into the left, and that's it. And he's going to get it done in the kink.
Good run up the inside there into turn 6. You've got to have big guts to get that one done. You've got to trust the other driver to get that move in place. But, goodness me, what a mix we've got here. We've got who's in here? We've got Paul Riga, of course, very, very quick as well. We've got Colin Wynn, who didn't have the... Oh, it's off he goes. Oh, hold on to it. Oh
no.
Oh, that shiny paintwork.
Oh, no, we've got more cars off. Johnny Ely is around. Stuart Clark is off as well. They're all joining him. That's crazy stuff. I think, to be fair, Paul says he's not even taking part tonight. I think if you were in the practice, Paul, or even in qualifying, it might have just reversed everybody and put you at the front. Let's piece together what happened there with John Elia and Stuart Clark.
Okay, so it looks like Stuart Clark having a big lunge in. Oh, catches the sausage curb and Bosch. Oh dear. Oh, and Carl Sharkey right off into the sand pit as well. So what has happened to Carl? Oh no, does Simon Povey have a look at the inside there? He does, and Bosch, off he goes. Goodness me, Carl's been in the wars tonight.
He has indeed. We also had Chris Byram having a moment at the same time. Up into the corkscrew, loses the back end. Doesn't hit anything. My word, that's a good effort. Camilio doing the fastest lap of the race. And Mark will be saying, come here, to be fair. trying to chase him down. Stephen Kershaw is third. Paul Rieger's gained 4 spots to be in fourth. But around all that, Mark Johnson and Chris Bowie have stayed where they started. Jacob Tofts is off now.
Again?
Honestly,
What's happened? It looks like he has been nursing a broken car since the earlier incident, but looks like Matt Dorrington's got through without a scratch, and Simon Povey, of course, we know has had a bit of contact with Carl Sharkey, so that will just take a little bit of the shine off his speed, and that's exactly what Matt Dorrington wants to hear. And I tell you what, Chaz, with his strong performances at Snetterton, well, Matt Dorrington really establishing himself as the championship favourite, I would say.
Yeah, indeed. And it's important to do that early on, because a lot of the time as well you can get into the head of your competitors. It's all about mind games over a course of a season, you know. If you can... Oh, that's a massive lock-up. Was that Stephen Harpham there? It was. That was very, very big lock-up. And same one... Oh, no! Kershaw's off. I heard a slight slide. He tries to get it going, puts it further into the wall, unfortunately. Let's see what happened. Oh, wow, it really rotated mid-corner, didn't it?
It really
Suddenly
shows you just
in.
how much of a handful these cars are, especially with, I'd imagine the track temperatures will be getting up a bit now as well. And when the track's greasy, oh my goodness, it's kind of like driving in the dry on wets. It's really, really tricky. Of course, the engine's slung out over the back of the car, 4 litre, so it's not a small engine. And well, it's a 911. It's got many advantages, particularly on the out of corner drive grip. But yeah, there are some characteristics you need to tame, and that was an example of how easy it can be for it to let go. Of course, no systems at all to help you here. No traction control, no ABS, nothing. You're on your own. You've just got a rear wing the size of a garage door to try and pin the car down.
Yes, indeed. Now, this is Chris Bowie. Stephen Harpham down the inside. Chris Byram's had another off. Chris Bowie getting overtaken from all angles. Oh, bit of a kiss there. Ben Simpson going through. Now, I'm not sure we're going to get the context of these, but on the Bowie jokes, I was considering how ironically hilarious it would be if Chris Bowie starts asking people where they're going to be racing next in the Discord, because he'll be saying, "Where are we now?" And then when he gets to Donington, he'll be saying, "This is not America." Stephen Kershaw, 9th. Ooh! That was a good one, wasn't it? Stuart Clark, just about missing him there. He had a bit of a lock-up.
They're going to give you fame.
Hey, they will indeed, mate. They will. For God's sake. I'll be in my golden years before I know it. Stephen Harpham. Oh, thank you, David Bowie, for your services to our entertainment. Harpham, though, is on... Well, we all caught a view of this train, didn't we then? Wow. This is really lively between all these. Look at this down the hill now. Chris Bowie has got Povey, Dorrington, Crawford and Greater X right behind him. Dorrington looking down the inside. Oh, is it the curb? How have they both stayed on the circuit? Wow. Oh, and then down the inside there, that's Greater X on Byron Crawford.
Good move there from Austin Greater X in the 13 car. You'll see on the left-hand flank, the rear flank of Austin's car, you'll see an address to his Twitch page, his Twitch stream for Austin. So, you know, if you're struggling to get to sleep at night, check it out.
Oh my God, that was savage. Jacob Tofts then, sporting a bit of damage on the front right, as we said before, just gets past Peter O'Connor. Those guys, by the way, that we were looking at before, the top 3 from the first race, Simon Povey, Matt Dorrington, Austin Greater X, of course, up there with them. They've gained 15, 16 and 12 places, respectively. And that is a hell of a drive to have 8 minutes into a race. We're not even at the halfway point yet. As Paul Rieger has had a bit of a moment. He's dropping places now. Now he's going to be right in the middle of this battle here. He's got Bowie down the inside. Oh no, what's happened there? Rieger's gone straight on. Chris Bowie's around in sympathy. Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to make some changes to the order, isn't it? Oh, Chris.
Oh, he's on the accelerator, then back onto reverse to me, to you, to me, to you.
Oh, whoa.
No.
Oh my God. Who is that? Was that Colin Wynn? Oh, Colin Wynn. I'd say what, moving matters, especially when Stuart Clark's the one that's moving. He's coming across the track. You see him go off there in a huge cloud of sand, and then Colin's like, ugh. Oh my God.
Holy guacamole.
Right then, this will be interesting. Breathe in, everybody, or at least shut your eyes if you don't want to see this. Ready?
Yeah.
My Lord, that was close. We've had Jacob Tofts off again, and Christian Saruta. Saruta, sorry. Oh no. Oh no, Jacob. Oh no. Oh, it's the tiniest of hits, but a little bit clumsy there from Jacob Tofts, unfortunately. But that's the thing. It's easy to brake a little bit too late in this car, and you cannot come back for it, can you? It just...
No.
Because then if you slam back on, you're just locking up and you're going straight on anyway. You have to concede and just carry the speed into the corner and just go off. Like we saw this man, Mark Johnson, do earlier. And, it's paid off for him. He's car 44, P4 at the moment. The reverse grid helping him out. But he stayed up there, actually. He started 5th on the grid, so he's gained a spot from the beginning. Well, that's going to get evened out.
Very solid there. Very solid from Mark Johnson. You have to watch it. Steve Harpham go straight through. Good move there from the Momo man. Stephen Harpham in the 78 car. Very good. Now, funny that what you mentioned about the brakes there, Chaz. I was speaking to Kat MP a couple of days ago, and she was saying that in a race car, when you've got that brake pedal and you get that feeling of the lockup, you just feel it and you just lift off slightly and it grips straight away. She says in the sim, it's not quite as reactive as that. So if you lock up, yeah, like you said, it's it's in the post and it's sealed. You're done. So whereas in a real race car, if you feel that pinch on the brake, you can just lift that tiny bit of pressure, and then you're back to the safe zone, shall we say?
Indeed, it looked like, just off what we were seeing here, Chris Bowie was trying to see if there was life on Mars with that launch that he had. That was a big jump over the curb. You see the car bounce around and get unsettled, and then wow, off it goes. Big moment. Now behind this, there is, oh no! Oh, Dorrington's off!
Oh,
Contact with Johnson, that's big championship stuff even this early. Oh, no. Stephen Kershaw's been off as well. We'll have a quick look at this before we find out. He's run wide here. Is he just going to clip the gravel? Oh, that is how tiny the margins are in these cars, man. And then Dorrington's already off at this point. Let's have another look at it. I think Johnson did what we saw earlier. Oh, no. Matt does come over to the right a bit, but... just
no room on the other side anyway. Yeah, he's just pushing that a little bit too much mustard, but still into the attrition. The one thing that's in Matt Dorrington's favour is that the attrition rate's been so high.
Yeah.
So still in 10th position, so he's still probably up in 5th right now, but yeah, he's still be able to recover a bit from that, whereas without the attrition rate being so high, well, he would have been staring down the barrel of a big points loss.
Yeah, indeed. It's always tough because, like I said before, you want to be thinking championship early on and playing things safe, but you can never escape it in these reverse grid races. Oh, Mark Johnson's off again. It's a real nightmare for Mark. Simon Povey's getting past Stephen Harpham. Now Simon's going to be benefiting from this a lot as well because he's going to try and fly out the... Oh, Dorrington's off again. Byron Crawford involved this time. Let's have a look here. Matt's gone down the inside. Oh, Matt's... Actually, no, they just both went really slowly, and Mark Bowe goes through. Thank you very much, boys. I'll see you in a bit. Wow. Great opportunism there as Peter O'Connor tries to get past... How did he turn that into a move? I think, to be fair, that's Matt giving it back, because...
yeah.
It looked like he might have given him a tap on the way into the kink. At the tiniest, but... Yeah. Wow, what
goodness me! How on earth I don't know how you keep up with all this, Chaz.
I honestly don't either. I think there's something wrong with me. Stephen Kershaw. Oh, there's something wrong with that. But he carries on. It'll be an almighty slowdown, but at the end of the day, he's not put it in a wall. Now here is Harpham and Austin Greatorex right behind. Austin's a real star, to be fair. Really top bloke. Oh, we go slightly inside the Porsche there. Oh, that's close, my God, boys. Oh,
we got a good look at Austin's sponsor there, Cobra Seats. They supply all his seats, you know, car, you know, kitchen, living room, toilet, you name it, he's got a Cobra seat.
For some reason then, you know when people have those horrendous leather spinning stools in the kitchen, like they have some sort of like cocktail bar going on. I just pictured one of them with a full-on Cobra seat just attached to it. That would be a really cool thing to have though if you had like a sim racing centre or some sort of venue. You could definitely do that. Get a big fat rail on it.
Oh, we've got a car off at turn 6, this Martini car. Oh my word.
Oh!
Big way.
Ben Simpson. How did you spot that?
I just saw it. I'm maybe using a different camera angle. Wow, he lost it early there. Gee whiz.
Just a bit on the gravel. He's still trying to get it going as well. He's had a nightmare getting it back going. Now look at the side of Jacob Toft's car. Well, it's certainly had a lively...
Infinity.
No, it's not got... One thing I always used to mention...
The bespoke parts.
No. The fact that... I always used to notice it about Ash, even when he was in the Lavorg, that the little headlight washer things that pop out, they always had these little covers just below the headlights. It was always hanging off Ash's car. Like, always. And I don't want to say a word on why. Simon Povey is trying to chase down Mark Phillips here, and it looks like he might be onto something. Peter O'Connor's gone off. He's got back on with it. We'll go back to this fight, though, because Mark Phillips, he will not be allowed to rest at all now at the end of this. Simon Povey's gained 20 places. What a guy. Really on it at the moment. And I really do like these two cars as well. Very contrasting liveries. Look at that there. Mark knows what he's doing here. Plays it safe. Through goes Povey. Byron Crawford's got these pair behind him. That's Gary Tall and Jacob Tofts. But wow. So much going on in these races though, Peter. Up and down the order. Cars going off here, there and everywhere. As Chris Bowie goes for a trip across the sand. Trying to find some stardust. Manages to get back on.
I'm amazed you know that many David Bowie songs. You must be a big fan.
I was. I say I was. I am, yes. He's an absolute hero, to be fair. He really is. And I remember some from last time I Googled it, to be fair. Some of the lesser known ones. I think there was a Google sesh last season.
Now, we must say that Matt Camilio in P1, this would be 2 weeks, 2 rounds in a row where a Braun GP liveried car has won the race, the feature race. So I guess Jensen was first to win in the Braun, wasn't he? And then Rubens won after that. So that must mean that Matt is Rubens.
Yes. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Easy way to go with it, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. History sort of repeating itself. He's got 3 minutes left to go. So, based on that being now, 3 minutes to go. So we've got 2 more laps for Matt Camilio. Mark Baxter-Jones, by the way, still in second place. Doing a great job at the moment. He's only 3.7 seconds off. Oh, Gary Tall. He's in the wall. Oh, my goodness me, Gary. Oh, you can't be doing that, sunshine. Let's have a look at what happened here. Mark Johnson's actually had an issue as well. Let's just have a look back at this. Into the corkscrew. Oh, too hot. Oh, the back end. That's so painful. We've all been there in iRacing. This is what happens to Gary. Oh, no. Byron Crawford got a really slow run through the corner. Gary sort of checked up for it and then just got smacked from behind. Looks like Byron's
by
also...
the 116 car.
For God's sake. It's not helping itself, the whole situation. Byron Crawford had a little bit of an off as well there at the last corner. Oh, not him getting hit by the 116 as well, please. No, he's just gone in a little bit too hot. Does a good job not to spin it. A little bit of a slide on the gravel, but so easy to go all the way around there, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, there are no easy parts of this circuit. Austin Greatorex has got past Mark Phillips and off in hot pursuit of Simon Povey, who's on for a second podium of the evening. If he was to do that, he would be the only guy to double podium here in the pro class. So, but I'm sure Austin will be trying his darnest to try and upset that order. But he's got a long distance to catch up with. Looks like it'll just be one lap to go.
Yeah, it will be one lap now. Matt Camilio crosses the line on the track map there. You can see the top 4 and how they spread out of that straight as well, out of the final corner. And there is your top 4. And if we add 5th place onto that as well, you'll see the gap back very tiny indeed. So we still do have a good fight going on inside the top 5. It'll just take one mistake from any of them here. Mark Phillips has got Stephen Harpham right behind him as well. Stephen's going to be hoping to snatch a move on the final lap here. Mark's doing well though. He's had a bit of an up and down couple of seasons, hasn't he? He's shown great pace and great consistency, but in some of the reverse grid races he was often in the wrong place at the wrong time, wasn't he?
Indeed, yeah. That it just sometimes you can get the rub of the green, and sometimes you don't. But certainly got the most eye-catching car on screen, that's for sure, with the blue and silver polygons, which are much more of a Mark Phillips original livery there. Actually, it's and then of course went to the whereby paint scheme. But Matt Camilio, what a drive this has been.
Yeah, this has been very sturdy stuff, similar to what we saw in the club class as well by João Estevez. Really awesome drive, well committed, and Matt Camilio takes round 4 of the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship Pro Class. Great drive. Mark Baxter-Jones is going to come home second. Simon Povey, great stuff from that number 3 car tonight. He's been an absolute star. Mark Phillips, 5th ahead of Stephen Harpham. Austin Greatorex was between them, by the way. And oh no, Johnson. It's off again. How has he managed that there? Is it just a curb again, do you reckon, Peter?
Well, just carries that tiny bit too much speed, and off he goes. This circuit has been so tough for these guys tonight.
It has indeed. It isn't an easy one by any stretch of the imagination. Drivers just finishing their laps now then. Here's Chris Bowie. To be fair, I think he's going to be happy to see the back of this one. That was a very tough race for him. Stephen Kershaw has just gone off as well at the second to last. Ben Simpson's gone past him. And Dan Bathy, who was in the pits at the start of this race after that early incident, manages to gain 2 places at the very death there. 18th for Dan Bathy, ahead of Simpson, Johnson and Kershaw. So Johnson actually got a place out of that as well. But Matt Camilio, what a fantastic drive that was, Peter. He really, really did nail that one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I mean, as we've seen, with a lot of drivers making a lot of mistakes here at Laguna Seca, to be able to lead and stay there over the 20-minute race is mighty, mighty impressive. And yeah, two feature race wins in a row for Braun GP. They're back.
They are indeed. It's taken 11, 12 years? God, can you believe that was 12 years ago?
Oh, God.
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
Years. Yeah?
Why did I do that to myself? Well, let's hurry up with the results, shall we? Matt Camilio takes the win then after an absolutely stellar performance there. Really strong stuff from him. Second place went the way of Mark Baxter-Jones. Another good drive there. Simon Povey finished in 3rd. I told you Mark actually was going to hope for more in that second race after a tough first one. Austin Greatorex is 4th, ahead of Mark Phillips and Stephen Harpham. James Cummings 7th, Carl Sharkey 8th, Matt Dorrington 9th and Mark Bowen 10th. Behind him was Christian Saruta with Jacob Toft and Byron Crawford for company. Peter O'Connor was 14th, ahead of Chris Byram and Stuart Clark, with Chris Bowie and Dan Bathy in your top 18. Ben Simpson and Mark Johnson then round out your top 20. We then have Stephen Kershaw, the last car on the lead lap. Those cars that were 1 lap or more away from the leader was Gary Tall, Colin Wynn, Paul Rieger, Johnny Elia and Paul Cole, who was going to be Paul Pole, but unfortunately did not turn up for the second race. Either way then, Peter, we need to somehow... I'm just going to see who we've got in for a chat. And to be fair, we do have João Estevez in the chat with us for a quick interview. João, you must be very, very pleased with that one because, it always looks easy from the outside, but it never is it?
It's calico, it's black and white.
I can't hear you there, buddy. Are you all right? All good? I think he's having a few mic troubles. We'll pop him back in, and then we'll just grab somebody else from the other lot, and we'll try again in a second. We'll drag in Mr. Dorrington, who
Evening.
Well, you had a lively one, didn't you, mate? That was an interesting one.
Race 2 got the old heart going, I must admit.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it, mate. And the thing is, we know from last season how difficult these races are to make it through without incident. Do you feel that... I'm going to go straight for the controversial one, you know what I'm like. Do you feel that splitting the two classes up has made that easier or more difficult?
Very good question. I actually think it's made it a lot better, if I'm honest. Now it's less about people making mistakes and errors and bits and bobs, and it's purely a fact of we're battling and we're trying to pass each other. And I think that will phase out throughout the season as it progresses, as we learn each other's driving styles, as we learn where we can and can't overtake each other. I think that'll progress throughout the season and get better and better.
And as it goes on, obviously we're heading to a number of wonderful circuits once again. The circuits that we've been to before in this championship, obviously people have already had a bit of experience here and there. Do you think that previous season experience makes that much of a difference, or does it depend on the driver?
For me, I find it does make quite a big difference, because to be honest, there is variations obviously in the car from season to season and bits and bobs, but because we keep the weather conditions fairly standard throughout the season and then season to season, it does mean that the cars behave in roughly the same manner from circuit to circuit. So I think it is a good benefit to have historically done some of the circuits in previous seasons.
Now, it's obviously my first broadcast of the season. We had the wonderful Jack Oliphant doing a mega job last week. I really want to ask you this question, and I know that it's going to be a tough one after that second race there, but championship implications. Do you think that Peter's already touted you as one of the championship contenders. We know how quick you are, in all honesty, but do you think that with the guys around you that you have on the grid now, the likes of Povey and who was the other guy you were fighting with as well, Tofts as well,
Jacob,
they're just, that fight in the first race was amazing, awesome respect, but do you think that you could potentially be in the fight for the championship throughout? I think we've lost you there, buddy. Not sure what's happened there, everybody. We seem to have just lost Matt for a second there. I'm not sure whether his headset's died or something, but we'll give him a sec. But either way, fantastic racing evening by him, and obviously getting a bit caught up.
Sorry.
There he is.
I'm back.
So, like I say, mate, championship hopes. Do you think you could do it?
Possibly, mate. It's going to be a tough one. Jacob and Simon are both cracking drivers, and Austin as well. It could be anyone's game, but I'm here for the fun. It's wicked. Having people that are all similar pace means we train it out, and that's where the fun is.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the racing has been phenomenal tonight. Very well done. And obviously, before we let you go, do you want to give anybody a quick shout out while you're here?
Thanks very much. Yeah, obviously to you guys as always. You do a cracking job, so thanks very much to you guys. Quick cheeky shout out for Midas Simulation as always, and also just everyone that takes part. Everyone makes such a good effort. Everyone joins in. We have such a good time on the Discord channel. So everyone in PCGB.
Smashing stuff. Thank you very much, mate. Great to speak to you again, and look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks' time.
Thanks, mate. You too.
Cheers. Nice one.
Cheers.
Matt Dorrington there, absolutely top bloke, really good guy to speak to. And another guy that we're very, very pleased to speak to is one of our absolute stars of the evening, to be fair. Luke Holroyd joins us in the chat. Luke, you must be really, really pleased after tonight's racing. That seemed to be exciting but still rewarding at the same time.
Yeah, it was good fun tonight, actually. Really enjoyed it. I managed to get on pole again. There was a bit of a to with Angus Archer for the pole position, and this week I've managed not to lose it on the first lap, which is better than last round at Snetterton. The tyres seemed a lot better this week. I don't think there's been an update on the tyres, and there's been a few differences, but race one was brilliant. Annoyingly, I've been practicing the kind of start with the clutch start and dropping the clutch all week, and then they did the update today, and everyone was saying that you can burn the clutch out really easy, so I just didn't bother doing it. And then I thought, if Angus does this, he's probably going to get me off the line, but no one was giving it any revs, so a clean start, and it was fairly straightforward first race. Angus stayed with me. He was always about a second ahead, and then at the end we just got to some traffic and it spiced it up for the last lap. But yeah, happy to take that win.
Yeah, it certainly was an intriguing one. Now, I mean, we know these cars are difficult to drive. You know, they like to break away from you over sort of hilly circuits. You know, they're sensitive to just floating around. How did you find it around Laguna Seca? Because we came in the very first season and there was a lot more carnage than there was here. It seems like everybody's sort of got to grips with it a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really tricky circuit, whatever car you're in. And then the 911 Cup cars are probably one of the hardest cars to drive on the iRacing platform. So it is tricky. You've got to take it steady. For me, I just kind of, my pace in practice, I was low to 1 minute 25s. I think I did the 25 dead was my quickest, but I just dropped the pace a little bit in the race just to try and not make mistakes and just see where that brought me out. It was up there, thankfully. And yeah, as I said, I don't know what the temperature was like tonight. It wasn't too bad on the tyres. But it's a lot easier when you've not got someone side by side. I guess I was watching the pros racing afterwards, side by side through the corkscrew and stuff like that. That's credit to all of them. It's a real challenge in this car.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a lot of fun at the same time, though, and I suppose that's the thing. It's always entertaining to watch these, so I imagine you have a good time driving it. In terms of the next round, Donington Park, absolute classic, and obviously these two were the very first two tracks that the series ever went to in its entire lifetime. So do you think, again, that's going to be one where people use their experience to their advantage?
Yeah, and I think everybody's done Donington practice because it was the national layout was the track of choice for the pre-qualification that the guys had to do to get into the championship.
Nice.
So everyone should know it fairly well. It's obviously a short layout, probably a little bit easier than Laguna. And you know, I think the pros, their racing's great, and I have to say the club level racing is fantastic. Obviously, you've got a bigger gulf in terms of lap times across the field, and it kind of goes back to season one, I guess. And I was one of the guys at the back, and then you've got like some Matt and Ryan at the front. So that reverse grid's a bit of a challenge, but for me, I was just trying to take it steady in the reverse grid and try and go around with the guys that I knew would be up there. And yeah, take it really steady. I mean, off the line, I just gave it a few revs, and that was good. I had a bit of an instant with ammo again. We seemed to be stuck to each other in the second races as we did at Snetterton. I haven't watched it back fully. From what I saw, he took a defensive line. I tried going around the outside, and then it just closed up as he came across. So maybe a racing incident on that. It was a shame to see him go off really, because we'd had a really good battle. He's very aggressive on defensive. Fair, no complaints. He's a very good driver, and it's fair defence. It's just impossible to get past. And saw my opportunity. Tried to go on the outside, and it closed up very quickly. So apologies to Ammo on that one. I don't know how I managed to keep it straight. To be honest, as it goes on the gravel, it's almost uncatchable, but somehow it stayed straight. So.
Yeah, it's an absolute pig like that sometimes, isn't it, really? But either way, you made for a very entertaining battle, mate. It was certainly good fun to watch. Before we let you go, though, is there anybody you'd like to give a quick shout-out to this evening?
Yeah, just all the drivers that took part in the Pro for Porsche Sport, and everyone in the club class who drove a brilliant race, and just to the sponsors of Porsche Sport, Midas Simulation, Strasser, and Sharky E-Bikes, and you guys. You do an okay job, I guess.
Thank you very much, mate. Great to speak to you as ever, and we will see you very, very soon, mate.
You too, guys.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Luke Holroyd there, absolute star. And another man this evening that was an absolute star for us. Fingers crossed his microphone's working this time. We have João Estevez with us. There we go, he's with us now.
Awesome.
Mate, you must be absolutely beaming after that first race. The second race tonight.
Second race.
It's I said it before as well, but it looks easy on the outside, but it's such hard work in this car, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I was finding the track changing, so the temperature was rising and losing grip. But anyway, I managed to find some pace. And then when I saw the gap behind, so 8 seconds, was keeping those 8 seconds, I kind of started to manage the pressure, because it's crazy the pressure you feel yourself driving alone in the front.
Yeah, that's it. Like when you've not got anybody else around you to compare to, you sort of get in your own head a little bit, don't you? Of like, oh, you've done that apex wrong, or you've done this wrong.
Yeah. You are kind of waiting for the next mistake.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, trust me, I've not led many races, but I've not the ones I have led, I didn't lead for long. Either way, though, I mean, this is always an exciting track to drive, and I was just asking the same question to Luke Holroyd there. Do you enjoy this car around this circuit, or was it a bit too much like hard work, do you reckon?
Well, everything is new for me. This track, this car. This is my second race, so to hit in each race in iRacing is the second month for it. So everything is new for me.
Wow, fair play.
And I'm coming from the rally, so I run a classic car in Portugal, classic mini in historic rallies.
Oh, brilliant! Fantastic.
And it's a totally different thing. So, but yeah, I'm loving it. And kind of learning, and the team, everybody's so helpful, and two champions here.
I was going to say, you certainly did a really good job of it this evening. I mean, like you say, running a classic mini, everything goes on in the front of those cars, but then in this, everything goes on at the back. So really is
absolutely,
chalk and cheese. But I mean, to be fair, Zhao, you did a great drive, kept the consistency, and that's exactly what you need to do. Do you think that drives like that could help you towards potentially winning the club championship this season?
I don't think so. My objective is gain experience.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the tracks for me are all new, so every track is a new experience. So, but let's see how it goes. Everything is possible, but but it's a strong team players here, guys with a lot of experience, and if you look, the time differences are not that big.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be definitely interesting to see how it evolves the championship.
Yeah, definitely. And to be fair, one of the things that Peter and I and everybody that watches this series loves the most is the driver development over the course of a season. You know, some drivers come in, like yourself, you know, very limited experience within the sim. I mean, even if you've driven these cars in real life, I mean, I know people that have driven the Porsche Cup car in real life, they come into the sim and it's a different ball game. You know, you have to relearn what you already know. And watching that development is exciting for Peter and I. So knowing that, you know, I'm really intrigued to see how you get on this season, mate. It's going to be certainly a good watch.
Awesome.
But before we let you go tonight, obviously big congrats from us, but is there anybody you'd like to give a thanks to while you're on stream?
Well, I will give a thanks for the organizers of the club. Definitely is something. So I kind of joined by accident. So I was looking for an insurance for my car. So I got a Porsche. I was looking for insurance. I got this good deal through the Porsche club. And then because of the lockdown, I stumbled on these guys. And initially, when you find these clubs, there is a lot of competency and a competitor expect in this type of clubs.
Yeah.
But here, there is such a level of friendship and goodwill and helping everybody, which is unbelievable.
It's
so definitely the organizers have built such a team spirit, a culture that definitely is a must. And I do thank you those guys because everybody does have the day job, right? And keeping this thing moving is definitely a lot of effort.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you, Dan.
It really is a beautiful thing, isn't it? And nicely said as well, to be fair, mate. You know, it's good to know that even from a driver's side, you know, that friendship is there. Peter and I really do love watching it throughout the season, and we try and get involved where we can, but it's just really is a beautiful thing. But again, well done from us tonight, mate. That was a fantastic drive in that race. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Thank you.
See you same again, obviously, in 2 weeks' time. But for now, have yourself a very good evening.
You too. Thank you guys for your work.
Cheers. Thank you. Chaz Draycott. What a lovely bloke. I'm really glad he got his mic working in the end, because he sounds like a proper top bloke, doesn't he?
He does indeed. Yeah, absolutely. And classic mini rallying. I mean,
oh no.
Oh, come on. How cool is that?
It is properly awesome, that. And the fact that he stumbled upon the series by accident as well, and he's won a race 2 meetings in, that's just, what a story. You've got to love that. So I'm really, I genuinely mean that when I said it to him there, everybody. I'm so excited to see how João Estevez gets on in this championship as well, and all of the other inexperienced sim racers that we have. And again, it's just a wonderful thing to have. Before we wrap up though, Peter, any particular highlights from you tonight, mate? Because it's been an absolute belter once again.
Where to begin? I mean, it certainly looked really, really tough out there for a lot of the drivers. You know, it's such a difficult circuit anyway, but particularly in this 911 GT3. I think, well, he certainly had to get his elbows out on the way there, but for Simon Povey to get 2 podiums here at Laguna is just when we thought that Matthew Donington was starting to maybe get an edge, all of a sudden it just flipped on its head. But I feel like it's going to be a season where we're going to see maybe one week it's going to be Jacob Toffs who's out front, then it's maybe going to be Matt Donington, then it's going to be Simon. I think it's going to be just a fascinating season, and of course we've still got 6 rounds to go.
We do indeed. I'm very intrigued by the rise of Mark Baxter-Jones. You know, he showed some fantastic promise at the end of last season, and I think we're going to see more of the same as well. Dorrington, like you say, him, Povey, Tofts, those 3 were a real example of great racing in that first pro class race tonight, so very intriguing to see how it all goes on. Unfortunately though, everybody, that is all we have time for this evening, but thanks again to all of the organisers behind the scenes who are doing such a great job at working with us here at Simracersworld TV. Thank you, Peter, my wonderful co-commentator. We always have such a laugh together, and long may that continue. Thank you, everybody in the chat, everybody that's been watching as well across YouTube, Twitch and Facebook. We appreciate every single one of you, and for your words as well as you go through the evening, and hopefully you've enjoyed yourself as well. I've been Chaz Draycott. He's been the wonderful Peter MacKay. This has been the Porsche Club of Great Britain Sim Racing Championship Season 3, Rounds 3 and 4 at Laguna Seca. We will see you at Donington Park in 2 weeks' time, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
We are dreaming.